Hello, everyone. Scotty White of World Combat Sports. Welcome. Hopefully, everybody's doing just great today. So, in the midst of COVID-19, I want to speak about mixed martial arts. And, to everyone that's out there, the supporters of World Combat Sports, I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in as always. Salute to you. Hope everyone and their family is doing just great. That's real talk. I'm not just rambling on through the intro and everything, but I really hope everybody's doing great. We up to like 700,000 cases here in the U.S. alone. And the month of April, they saying it's going to get that much worse. But best wishes to everybody and prayers. I want to talk about the UFC 249 during this COVID-19 crisis. I did a video on it not too long ago about Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov being scheduled to contend in the cage 2020, all right, 2018, 2017, 2016, and 2015, y'all. They've been scheduled 5 freaking times to fight. 5 times. And I understand why this clash Dana White was trying so aimlessly to make this happen during the process of COVID-19. Dana White was trying to say, you know what, regardless, I put too much promotion money into this. I really want to make some money off the fight, and I'm going to do it regardless. Now, what some fight fans may not know, in the blackout, what's going on, Tony Burgess? Salute to you, man. Well, a lot of people may not know about the gate and them having this fight potentially in a blackout without any fans is that they stand to lose about $10, $11 million. $10, $11 million, man. And if you look at the numbers, why would Dana White essentially still want to put this fight on? Because look, if you think about the smart aspect of it, what is everybody doing right now? Absolutely nothing. Everybody's on quarantine looking at Netflix. I mean, they're looking at old ass movies that has dust on them. They never even think to put in, and watch. So therefore, I believe Dana White is kind of looking at it from a standpoint like no one's really actively engaged in any other sport because they're all shut down, right? So if I'm able to pull this off, I can still recoup at least some of the money if I was to charge them a PPV stipend. Whatever that PPV stipend would be, 60 some dollars to whatever. Still, people would tune in for this fight because of all the history behind it. If you're a hardcore MMA fan, even some boxing fans, they know who Khabib is. I wouldn't say they know too much about Tony Ferguson in the same light, but definitely they know about Khabib Nurmagomedov. You feel me? So, hold on for a second. So why is Dana White still pushing for this to happen? If you haven't heard recently, right? Khabib left the U.S. just as I mentioned in my last live. Left the U.S. because the gym shut down, right? He's pretty much hanging out as long as he possibly can. So he left the U.S. and flew back, not straight to Russia, but I believe he went to Abu Dhabi, right? Stayed over there for a minute just to see what was popping, see if the fight was going to be relocated over there. And then he didn't receive any word. Finally, he flew back to Russia. Once he touched down in Russia, his home country, right? They shut down. They placed and implemented travel restrictions. So then Khabib didn't have anywhere. He's like stuck in Russia. So people are saying like Khabib purposely left. This guy's like been training for one of the biggest fights of his career, and he took it upon himself to basically leave the U.S., which has one of the highest COVID. I'm talking about one of the highest coronaviruses in the amount of cases that's going on right now, up to 700,000. Why wouldn't he want to leave? And then come to find out that they saying the public gatherings had to be around 10. So it was good for him to leave and go to Abu Dhabi, right? Once in Abu Dhabi, he found out that the word still wasn't confirmed if this bout was going to take place outside of the US. So then he flew back to Russia, and people up here saying that Khabib is ducking Tony Ferguson. He should have never left the US. Look, I put it all in Dana White's lap. If Dana White really wanted this fight to happen in a gas station bathroom, he should have made all the arrangements and reached out to Khabib, Tony Ferguson, make sure they was A-okay, made sure the entire card was A-okay, and say, don't worry about a thing. I will make sure that your team, yourself, everybody is well taken care of so we can make this fight. Obviously, that didn't happen. So Khabib is chilling in Russia right now. You know what I'm saying? He's chilling in Russia, man. I don't blame him. I don't blame the eagle for spreading his wings and flying back home. Hey, what's good, Andrew? Salute, man. Congrats on the puppies and everything. I see she finally, popped them out. So congrats on the puppies, man. So I don't blame Khabib for going back home. Real talk. But you all casual MMA fans need to stop saying that Khabib Nurmagomedov is up here ducking Tony Ferguson because he went home and saying there's no way for him to get a flight out. Now, just say it is a way for him to get a flight out, right? Just say, for instance, he can get special permission from whoever he need to take a PJ out. It's still no word from Dana White on where the fight is going to take place. We know it's going to be a blackout. We don't know where it's going to take place. Is it going to be somewhere in the backyard over here in the U.S.? Is it going to be somewhere outside of the perimeters of the U.S. in another country? Nothing has been said, and the fight's supposed to take place April 18th, right? Last time I checked. So, I don't know why the casual fans is up here dogging this man out, saying he's a ducker and he's running and he should be stripped of his title. Are you out your damn mind? Are you losing yourself during this COVID-19 quarantine? This man worked to get the title, even though he fought Alaquinta, for the title, right? I mean, for the vacant. Khabib deserves every bit to fight when it's all clear. He deserves every bit of that respect to return to the cage when it's all clear to fight. No matter what the president is saying, I'm talking about President Dana White, no matter what he's saying, for the health and well-being of him, since he's the breadwinner of his family, they shouldn't worry about stripping him of the title. Now, they want to sit up here and talk about interim and all this other crap. Who cares about an interim title? Khabib is the champion. He defeated Conor McGregor, subbed him in 4 with full control. And then he went up there. He's fought Michael Johnson. I mean, come on, man. He subbed Michael Johnson out in the 3rd round with a Kimura. He fought Edson Barbosa. He just smashed this dude. It was almost like Edson Barbosa was in a mosh pit with no arms. Every time you turned around, Khabib was putting his hands on Edson. And then most recently, man, he subbed out Dustin Diamond Poirier, dog. He subbed him out. Khabib isn't playing around. And you think just because Tony Ferguson, he has this awkward type of style, just put it this way. Let's talk about some common opponents they got, right? Let's talk about the 2 I just mentioned. One I just mentioned, right? Michael Johnson. He fought Tony Ferguson, I believe, back in 2012, I believe, right? And from my understanding, Michael Johnson defeated him via unanimous decision. But when Khabib, as I just mentioned, Khabib fought him, he subbed him out in the 3rd round. Let's talk about another common opponent, Edson Barbosa, right? Edson Barbosa fought Khabib Nurmagomedov. No, I'm going to start with Tony. He fought Tony Ferguson in 2015. Now, Edson Barbosa, he could have still been, improving his skill set, adding wrinkles to his game and everything else you want to talk about. But he did fight Tony Ferguson in 2015. And Tony Ferguson subbed him out with a Darce choke. All right? One of Tony Ferguson's specialties when it comes to his submission game, right? Then you move up to 2017, I believe, And Khabib fought Edson Barbosa. And I'm talking about, I cannot believe Edson Barbosa took that much punishment. Look, the amount of punishment that the referee allowed Barbosa to take during that fight probably changed his life. I'm being very light. Like the beating that Khabib put on Barbosa that night, I was absolutely surprised of the toughness that Barbosa sustained enough to earn, for the fight to go to a decision and for Khabib to earn a unanimous decision win. But the fact that Barbosa was able to go the distance with Khabib after taking that beating, I know it changed his life. Seriously, he'd been on a losing streak. Like Barbosa took too much punishment during that fight. I'm talking about straight punches to the head. Even though they have 4-ounce gloves on, it was just too much to watch. Just like Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson, man, he was basically talking to Michael Johnson. He was basically explaining him the reason why he was beating him. And hey, at any given time, you can tap, you can submit, you can quit. Go ahead, quit, Mike. Go ahead, quit right now. And Khabib is telling Michael Johnson in his face, I want to be champion. I have to be the best. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing to you, in such a methodical, vindictive type of way, man. But yet showing sportsmanship. He wasn't there to basically cause ill harm to Michael Johnson, but he was there to let him know that he's a different type of dude. He's cut from a different cloth, and you're gonna get this beating. And Michael Johnson took the beating all the way into the submission. And I think the punishment he took also may have changed his well-being as a person, but more so Edson Barbosa. So those are two common opponents I want to talk about: Edson Barbosa, Michael Johnson, between Tony Ferguson and Khabib. Khabib fought Barbosa to a unanimous decision. Tony Ferguson subbed him out in 2015 via Darce choke. And then when it comes to Michael Johnson defeated Tony Ferguson. But then again, Khabib subbed him out. So you got two different fighters there. And I'm pretty sure, hands down, that Tony Ferguson has improved since fighting those guys, period. Tony Ferguson hasn't lost in a long ass time. That's why people are very amped up for Khabib and Ferguson to fight, man. But weighing on the side of caution, this virus ain't nothing to play with. And I really don't understand why Dana White is pushing so hard after everybody's just shutting him down, saying no, no, no. He's still trying to push the fight. Why remain defiant in such a dark period that's taken over? We're in a pandemic crisis, right? Globally, it's taken over and constricting people to their quarters, right? So why wouldn't you just let off the gas? Just say, you know what? Let us do it right. Let us reschedule this fight, reset, reschedule, promote, and bring this fight back a sixth time. A sixth time. Look, if this fight falls all the way out the window for April 18th this month, this would have been the fifth time that it was scheduled. So now what do you say? You're like, shit, what's next? For Dana, he's probably kicking himself like, God damn it, I was that freaking close, man. I was that close for having this fight. And then all these outbreaks happen, all these cases of COVID-19 started to take over the headlines, swamp the hospitals. People start to die. And then, the regional bans start being implemented. But Dana White is like, I don't give a damn about, what's being implemented. I believe he looked at it as if, hey, I got the money to do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too much worried about that. I'm just looking at it from a standpoint like, man, this card can wait. Real talk. We was able to see John Jones versus Dominic Reyes out the window. out the door before the COVID-19 really hit. In boxing, we was able to see Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury card at the MGM packed house. It's amazing that still happened. It's amazing. We're just, look, it's in April. That happened February 22nd. We're just outside of a month for such a big fight that happened in February, right? So you had that particular fight in boxing, and then you had the Showtime card with nobody in the arena, and that was a solid card. That was a very solid card, but it went from 50 to 10 people on deck. So they shut that shit down. And then for mixed martial arts, the UFC had their final card in Brazil, with the main event being Charles Oliveira against Kevin Lee. And Oliveira ended up subbing Kevin Lee out. Blackout. After that, no more. 50 down to 10. Dana White says, no way I can operate with 10. And I'm still going to have this fight with Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov, no matter what I have to do. My point to the fans is, why y'all sitting up here acting like this man is anything less than one of the baddest pound for pound fighters in mixed martial arts? Khabib is absolutely one of the top pound for pound fighters in the sport. And the reason why people probably, want him to go by the wayside is because, his religion, he's from Russia. And it's kind of strange on the mixed martial arts side of the house is that they don't sit up here and embrace the fighters from Russia like boxing does. Like, if you take the neighboring fighters in boxing, like the Vasily Lomachenkos, Gennady Golovkins, the Alexander Usyks, even the UK fighters, boxing fans embrace them, right? They are enamored with them. But then you take the mixed martial arts and you have, the fighters, the neighboring fighters, just say Khabib, they don't embrace him as much. They don't embrace him like the Gennadys when he was winning and he was on that 22 fight knockout streak, 22-23 fight knockout streak, and everybody was praising him as being this machine. Vasily Lomachenko came in, tried to win the championship in his second freaking professional fight, ended up doing it in his third fight, and people was like, still to this day, high tech, he's the best ever. You know what I'm saying? Salido was fighting dirty. The fact is, it is what it is. MMA fans are quite different, support neighboring fighters, than the boxing fans are. So Khabib being second on the pound for pound list amongst the males in mixed martial arts is just due. You know what I'm saying? It's worthy, it's warranted, it has value, has merit. The only other person that's above Khabib is John Jones. John Jones. And that's kind of where I'm going to transition. John Jones is hands down the number one pound for pound because of his resume, people. His resume. Listen, John Jones has one defeat on his record. A defeat for which was handed to him when he fought Matt Hamill. Matt Hamill was this guy who was being slowly killed off, bludgeoned to death by 100,000 elbows. And look, much respect to Matt Hamill, but he wasn't winning that fight, right? John Jones was wrapped up in his adrenaline and everything else in that fight, and he was landing elbows. He wanted to get the stoppage, and wouldn't you know, he landed a 12-6 elbow, and they stopped the fight, DQ'd him. And Jones actually thought the fight being stopped, he was gonna win. Like, he was cheering and everything, he had his hand up. He's like, oh, good. And then they say, you've been disqualified. So John Jones was like, what? So he took his first blemish on his ledger, right? And Matt Hamill even said that, there's no way that he could have won the fight. His shoulder was messed up. There's no way that he could have turned the fight around and defeated Jones. But he wasn't the type of fighter that was advocating for that shit to be turned and reversed. You know what I'm saying? Say, hey, whatever you do, Dana White, reverse that. Because there's no way I would have turned that ass whooping into victory. It's no way in hell I would have did that. Bro, you good? Man, you need to chill. You act like you creating a Halloween movie or something, man. So John Jones recently, as you all know, right? Sticking to the subject. You know, this COVID-19. Listen, people, they just passed the word down here. School is done for the year. And I was telling my son, I was like, man, I bet you sad as hell. I bet your heart is just broken. But I tell you what, you better make sure you make all those online classes. You better make sure your ass on time. You better cut that TV off and make sure you're tuning in these classes. But yeah, they canceled the rest of the school year. And I'm glad they did, because from what is going on down here in Georgia and the cases, they're continuing to increase, and it's bad. It's all bad. It's all bad. So I'm just hoping it doesn't get any worse. So back to John Jones. John Jones in Albuquerque, New Mexico, received his second DWI, people. And check this out now. John Jones, he's had his slew of problems. I'm no denying that. He's admitted that he's not the best guy that you want to call when it comes to being a role model for mixed martial arts. He's made that perfectly clear that, hey, when you're looking for a fight to be a role model, no, it's not going to be me. I'm going to let you understand that right here, right now. Make it perfectly clear. I'm not the role model, right? So John Jones received his second DWI amongst having a hit and run incident, and attached that with popping positive, you know what I'm saying? And admitting that he wasn't the best type of guy. You know, he's still admitting to this day that he has an unfriendly relationship with alcohol, right? And this is pound for pound the best fighter. Now, this is nothing new to combat sports. It's some fighters out here that's the best at what they do, and they was drinkers, some boxers too, and they was freaking drug addicts. I mean, they was drug heads, dope heads, and they was alcoholics. But anyway, back to John Jones. He had the situation where he got the ticket with the officer, and there was some words exchanged. It wasn't a pleasant conversation that they had, but John Jones wasn't happy, right? That same officer happened to be the one that was the arresting officer for his recent DWI. All right. So John Jones is cited for aggravated DWI, negligent use of a firearm, no proof of insurance, and open container. That's all the charges John Jones was cited for. You know what I'm saying? So he went to court, plead out, right? He ended up being charged with aggravated DWI. I guess they dropped the negligent use of a firearm and, you know, threw away the proof of insurance. So it comes down to this. You know, you have an alcohol problem. I mean, which he's admit to, he have an unfriendly relationship with it, right? So they throw out the gun charge and the proof of insurance. So he kind of gets stuck with, you know, the DWI and the open container or whatever, because I guess he blew twice the limit, right? So out of that situation, John Jones was only given a light sentence, 4 days house arrest, y'all. 4 days. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ichi nanchi go. Ichi ni san chi. My fault. So John Jones is given 4 days of house arrest while we in quarantine, y'all. That is hilarious. When I heard that, I was like, damn, it must be nice to be a millionaire and be one of the top pound for pound fighters. If you think they don't award fighters in their wrongdoing, hey, if it's enough to award them, they will. You can't get all the way out scotch-free. but they will make sure you get the benefit. John Jones got 4 days of house arrest while we on quarantine, people. 4 days of house arrest, and we locked down anyway. That's just like them suspending Billy Joe Saunders, man. While we on lockdown, who gives a damn? You can say he's banned from boxing all you want. Let's see what happened when this shit is lifted, right? So John Jones get 4 days house arrest, and potentially, paying a $500 fine, may have to wear an ankle monitor, may have to and 1 year probation, may have to attend alcohol treatment. You know what I'm saying? He does have those attachments to it. A $500 fine, and this is your second offense? Amazing. People, amazing, right? A year probation after you had a hit and run? Whoa. I guarantee you, if it was me and I had a repeat offense, I don't give a damn. We was in COVID-19, my ass would be in jail. Don't even think anything outside of that. If it was me right here, right now, and I got pulled over for a freaking DWI, I'm locked up. No priors at all. I'm locked up. John Jones had multiple priors, a DWI, freaking hit and run, while injuring someone, and then the ticket incident when he was in a sports car. It's been multiple, but look, I'm not gonna be a hater. I'm being media. I'm basically spreading. I'm speaking about the news in a sense where it's amazing that it was so light that he was able to plea and only get 4 days house arrest and 1 year probation. Now, the 1 year probation, y'all, might be more than what you think it is with John Jones. Because John Jones, you're talking about 12 months for John Jones to stay clean, to stay out of trouble is tough. But check this out. He was able to do it in 2019, though. Real talk. He was able to get through 2019, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, John Jones say, hey, I went through a 4 year. Now it's time for me to get back to my greasiness. You know what I'm saying? I need to get back to who I truly am. That's what I need to do. And man, this COVID-19, I believe him. I believe that he was somewhat, going stir crazy, as he called it, right? He wanted to get out the house. He wanted to get in the streets. And John Jones talk about, look, I know he said, his kid was ADD and he wanted to get out the house. It was going stir crazy. And then he said something else. He said something else to the point where I'm not too cool about putting it on your family. He said he was speaking to the homeless. Now, John Jones, that shit a little bit funny to me because we all locked down, so shit's gonna be a little bit more funny to me than usual because there's not much news to report on. But when you read up on people that you already know about, it becomes a bit more hilarious hearing them speak, especially the body cam video that's showing John Jones. I'm just out here talking to homeless guys. Now, granted, he may have been out there talking to homeless guys, people. He may have needed that company. Because if you want something to drink, those are the people that you want to talk to. You got the homeless people out there. They got something to drink. I'm not saying he was going to share a bottle, but obviously he was out there drinking. He had been drinking. He said he had a shot of vodka earlier, which usually isn't the case. It's just like when you get pulled over, right? And they say, how many drinks have you had? Two, that's it. I only had 2 drinks. What were you drinking? Oh, just a glass of wine. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to tell him you was drinking some Hypnotic. You're not going to say you had your special limited signature edition of Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? You're going to say, I just had 2 glasses of wine. I think it might have been Red Bull. It might not even been alcohol. It might have just been some Red Bull. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, for John Jones to be out there with the homeless man, telling the police that he was out there with the homeless, it was quite funny. I'm not gonna lie, but getting back to the point, the MMA fans, man, you fence riders, a lot of you are just straight up disloyal ass fence riders. Real talk. And you know, they have them in boxing too. But I'm just talking to the mixed martial arts casuals right now. When John Jones got in trouble, the same people that was cheering, check this out. I'm going to tell you how goddamn disloyal and disrespectful these MMA fans are, right? They're sitting up here when John Jones was out of the DC, was gone from the DC rematch, right? He had already beaten DC. And he ended up being tossed out of the match because he popped positive, right? In an out of competition drug test. It was out of competition. Those same people that was cheering for DC, they was cheering for him to come back. I said, man, no fake ass mother cheering for DC, knowing they John Jones fans. You know what I'm saying? Like they will boo DC if both of these fighters was walking to the cage. They would cheer for goddamn John Jones and boo DC, right? So when John Jones popped out of competition, drug test, right? You saw snuck up on him or whatever. These people have been cheering DC. So DC was able to go in his little ring. And then John Jones come back finally for the rematch. And what do we hear? DC, who is a good guy, a damn good guy, a freak of nature for his body type, right? Look, his body type just started catching up to him when he was stopped by Stipe, okay? I know John Jones defeated him twice, but I'm telling you, DC is one of the GOATs, one of the best to ever do it. When DC stepped back in there with John Jones, people were booing DC. They was booing this man like he was the one who basically had the DUI, a DWI, and had the hit and run. They was booing this man. And DC's a good dude. And then John Jones, the villain, comes out. They up there. Yeah, Bones Jones. They was cheering Johnny Bones, man, back to a cage once again. Fair weather fans. He goes in there and stop DC with a head kick. People are cheering this man on and on and on. And John Jones' test come back. His sample come back in August, dirty. What they do? They go back to cheering DC. Real talk. So when John Jones got this DWI, what do you think happened? People up here saying, you should strip him of the belt. You should strip him. He doesn't deserve to be champion. But see, these are individuals who probably just start watching mixed martial arts. They really don't give a damn about too much except what they see in front of them right here, right now. And that is, well, I have this person that I like, and I have that person I don't like. They don't really know the history to this shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. So when John Jones got the DWI, they dogging this man. Not only the fans, but I got to call out his compeers. I have to call out his opposition. I have to call out his colleagues that's in his division. Dominique Reyes, you had 5 rounds and the decision didn't go his way. What's going on, Stephen Wood? What's going on, CMB? Hey, same to you, man. Salute. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for dropping in. Everybody who's dropping in, appreciate it. Smash that thumbs up button. So when John Jones, man, his compeers start putting tweets out, because look, it's a lot that you can do over social media. It's a lot that you can get across. Like, fights are pretty much the energy. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather happened. Conor McGregor started running this big ass mouth and he started talking shit because Ronda Rousey felt that she can get on night shows and talk about she can beat Floyd Mayweather with one hand behind her back. And I'm like saying to myself, somebody test her. No, I'm not talking about for pads. I'm talking about for drugs, because Ronda Rousey has to be on drugs. Then Conor McGregor started following suit to talk shit about Floyd. That's how he got the fight. But anyway, Dominique Reyes is up here putting a tweet out talking about, oh, me and Thiago Santos should fight for the title. John Jones should be stripped. John Jones should be this. So you're talking about two of his leftovers. John Jones defeated Thiago Santos in a decision, and also Dominique Reyes in a decision. He's defeated both of them. But for them two, in the time that John Jones is on his back a little bit, this before he went to court, for him to get those tweets from people, from fighters, his opposition that he's defeated already, for them to come up there like they're in the schoolyard or something, I just felt it was a bit childish. You know, they showed a little bit of juvenility, like, if I can't beat you head up, I'm going to circle around and try to go at it a different way. Now that you're in trouble, you have other things to deal with. Hey, Dana, strip him of the title. Listen, one thing about Dana White, he's been in the game for a long time, right? Day numero uno, for you to say, strip John Jones, his cash cow. John Jones, his cash cow. Conor McGregor used to be. And he would still get Conor McGregor that love. Why? Because Conor McGregor allowed him to get some millions, right? But when you're talking about John Jones being the cash cow, man, Dana White is not going to sit up here and strip that man. He's not going to sit up here and strip John Jones. He's going to wait and see what happens in court. He's gonna sit up here and assess what John Jones is in trouble for. And this time around, it wasn't pads. It was outside. Someone who follows the sport just a little bit closely will understand Dana White operates differently. If you would have seen what happened with Conor McGregor when he tossed that dolly in New York into the bus, Dana White didn't even punish him. He said the authorities punished him in court. Why should I sit up here and do anything? And then also he inserted it in the promo leading up to Conor McGregor and Khabib's fight. So I'm saying Dana White, hearing that John Jones got DWI, he's not going to strip him of the title. He's going to say, okay, let me see what happens out here. Let me see what they're going to do. They're going to give him jail time, whatever the case may be. Phone calls was made. You know what I'm saying? Handshakes, nods, confirmations, whatever you want to call it. 4 days house arrest, y'all. I'm happy. I'm not going to lie. I'm happy he didn't get stripped. I'm happy he didn't get jail time. I am, because I just want to see John Jones in his career. He just defended his title 8th straight time, record, right? I really want to see him continue to face the competition in his division. Dominique Reyes is #1 ranked. He's defeated most of all the high-ranking individuals in his division, from Anthony Smith to Thiago Santos, Dominique Reyes, OSP. Man, he defeated anyone that you can name. Alexander Gustafsson. The only one that people will probably want to see John Jones fight right now that's not in the UFC is Anthony Rumble Johnson. Rumble Johnson told me in Florida he was mad because if you look back on my live, I told you that he was supposed to fight Anthony Rumble Johnson, and the fight fell out. He got the hit and run. Prior to him getting that hit and run incident, he was supposed to fight Anthony Rumble Johnson, and the fight was canceled. So that's when Anthony Rumble basically said he wanted to fight John Jones. Now, I'm not saying that he would have beat John Jones. I'm just saying it would have been a good fight. Once again, I just don't want to, weigh heavy on the history, but John Jones fought DC twice and was subbed out. And we all know John Jones is up 2-0 on DC. I'm just saying it would have been a good fight, name, paper, it would have been exciting to the fans. But besides that, I'm not telling you that Rumble would have went in there and gave John Jones problems. But then again, he could have. He could have made it interesting because the first fight between Alexander Gustafsson and John Jones, man, that's the worst that we've seen John Jones wear a fight with Alexander Gustafsson. And then the second time around, he finished him in the third round. So look, Rumble Johnson also defeated Alexander Gustafsson. Sure did. Anthony Rumble. That's why I say the fight would have been interesting. You know what I'm saying? If Rumble could have maintained his cardio, oh, the fight would have been interesting. Real interesting. Because Rumble defeated Alexander Gustafsson, and I was absolutely shocked. But, you know, Rumble got that dynamite in his hands, man. Rumble got that TNT. But back to my man, John Jones, man. I hope he get it together, keep it together, and, you know, continue to cement your legacy. John Jones is one of the best fighters ever in mixed martial arts. He's one of the best. You know what I'm saying? And right now, he's one of the fighters that you can say that has a loss on his record, but no one looks at it as a loss. You know what I'm saying? They look at it as a situation where in the heat of the battle, he was just throwing strikes and he was beating up Matt Hamill so bad that he kind of lost his focus and landed a 12-6 elbow. Now that hating ass referee that freaking DQ'd him, he should have really reset. He should have thought about what he was doing, the magnitude of that fight, but he didn't. He was just going through the motions, man. I'm not even gonna give him I'm not even gonna say his name, man, because I go off on some of the fights he's had too. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. You know, Dominique Reyes and Thiago Santos up there saying, you know, why don't you have us, Dana White, fight for the title, strip John Jones? But one thing they know for sure, that combat sports isn't about how many times you go to church every week. It's not about your morals and principles. It ain't never been about that shit. It's all about what you can do in the cage. Can you go in there and win? Are you the stronger, tougher fighter? Are you resilient? Are you durable? If you get beat, can you return? Can you improve on your career? Can you be a household name? That's what combat sports is. You know what I'm saying? More so mixed martial arts than boxing. Mixed martial arts, the fighter can lose a dozen times, y'all, and they still cheer him on. But in boxing, if you come to the ring and you have like 8 losses, you got people going to the damn get a hot dog. Man, I'm gonna go out here and get me a hot dog, man. What, they got some chicken tenders out there? They got cheeseburgers? Okay, cool. This dude got 8 losses on the record. Shit. He about to take a knife right now. I mean, that's what you're going to get from boxing fans. You know what I'm saying? How much the drinks is out there? Man, let's go out there and get something to drink. This fight, man. How many rounds? Like 6, 8? Okay. Let's go get something to eat. Man, that's boxing. Mixed martial arts fan, Cowboy Cerrone, 13 losses. They cheering him on. Michael Johnson, 15 losses. They cheering him on. And look, both of those guys can fight. But the mixed martial arts fans are different. They will still cheer a fighter on with a dozen freaking losses. That's what they do. That's what they do, y'all. So John Jones, man, when it's all said and done, I'm not sure who he's going to face next upon the return. But I do have a spreadsheet on who I would like. Look, it is a positive. It's a positive freaking candle that's being lit right now to this COVID-19 when it comes to combat sports. I'm telling you, check this out. Can you imagine like all the downtime we got, right? And just say COVID-19 goes through, from what I understand, it's going to be all the way to May. So all these fights we're talking about, boxing taking a hit, losing millions of dollars. Boxing is losing millions, right? Wouldn't it be big, both on mixed martial arts and boxing, for them both to come out this cloud and step under the lights with a stacked card on both sides? I'm talking about a stacked card. In boxing, we got the Errol Spence return. You know what I'm saying? The welterweight division, we have a lot of hitters that we're waiting to see. All right. So just put that on the table right away. You know, especially Errol Spence said he didn't want no soft touch. So when we come out this COVID-19 dream fights, Errol Spence, I'm not going to say Terrence Crawford because that shit seemed like it's never going to happen. But we can say either Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Errol Spence, freaking Manny Pacquiao for the WBA. Even Mikey Garcia, if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? At this point in time, I just want to see Errol Spence fight for chips, fight for the freaking welterweight unification. I'm talking about undisputed. I ain't talking about, okay, I got the WBC IBF. I'm talking about Errol Spence fight nothing but champions. Either he fight Terrence Crawford or he fight Manny Pacquiao. That's what I want to see outside of post-COVID-19 for Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford, Manny Pacquiao. Period. I understand Sean Porter's out there. I understand Kell Brook and all these other people out there. I understand what the ranking system look like. But I'm saying coming out this freaking COVID-19, it would be great for us to see a heavy ass card. Heavy, y'all. David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, y'all. David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. IBF versus the WBC for the unification. Heavy. That's 2 fights. Heavy. And we already got Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko. That fight is already out there. That's already out there. Then you have Ryan Garcia that's calling everybody bitches and calling them scared and all that shit. You know what? Looking at Ryan Garcia now and all his freaking videos, look, I gotta give a salute to Ryan Garcia. Hey, dude, hands are quick. Seriously, I basically looked at his videos without glasses and I looked at them with glasses on. And the shit is still fast. I'm like, shit, this motherfucker got some fast ass hands. But how do they look in a fight is the question. If you're talking about a fight, I still got to get a nod to Gary Russell Jr. Period. You can look. Everybody looks fast to a point on reaction bags, mitts, shadow boxing. But how do you look in a fight? That's what I'm saying. So Ryan Garcia, I'm really tired of him calling Gervonta a bitch. Like, dude, I want to see that fight. I want to see Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis. I really do want to see that. I don't think Ryan Garcia has the mettle right now. I don't think he has what it takes to stay in there with a fighter like Tank Davis who's going to be on you. He's not going to fight the same fight. He's not going to come forward when you want him to come forward all the time. And then when he does come forward there, Ryan Garcia, can you handle the punching power? Can you handle it? Seriously. So Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis. And then you have Devin Haney that's sitting in limbo. We don't really know what's going to happen with this WBC title. You know what I'm saying? We really don't know what we're looking at. You know, what's going to come of Devin Haney? Who can we link him up to coming out this COVID-19 to fight? It has to be somebody good for Devin Haney. I know he's in the gym, he's in shape, but we really want to see him fight somebody that's worth talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to see. And of course, you had a rematch. I'm switching lanes, man. We're playing hopscotch right now. You know what I'm saying? So we had the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight that was supposed to happen in July, right? That's still out there. So you have so many freaking fights that was supposed to return for a trilogy. That fight right there has so much suspense and intrigue, because people out here saying there's no way that, Wilder can win the title back. Fury is just that good. He's turned the corner. Him and Sugar Hill Stewart, this, that, and the other. And then you have all the speculation around everything dealing with his gloves, dealing with, the way he fought the fight. I look at it this way. It's up to me as the combatant to find a way to work out or work around the headlocks and everything else, right? But when it comes to the the palm to the face and all this other shit. I'm not going to get into it. But them two fighters, they have to step back in the ring again. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, to settle the score. And that's going to be a huge fight. That's going to be a huge fight. We have to come up out of here for boxing first, right? Boxing has to come up out of here with a stacked card to suck up all the money they possibly can. Hey, for those fighters who may not want to be on the undercard, you're going to have to be on the undercard. You're going to have to understand, we just came out this freaking lockdown. People are eager to go back and sit down and watch combat sports. So guess what? You have to understand, as a fighter, do I sit up here and try to say, well, I'm going to just wait my turn. I got to be the main event. I got to be the main event. No, man. We should have a stacked freaking card. The first fight card. No matter what the promotion is, you know what I'm saying? Get this card stacked for the top tier names. And when I say top tier names, we might even throw Gennady Golovkin and, you know, Canelo Alvarez in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking forward to the fight, but they want to continue to give Gennady Golovkin this trilogy with Canelo Alvarez. So be it. Whatever. I don't care. I look at Charlo. I look at Jermell Charlo and Erislandy Lara. Will I want that on the card? Yeah, absolutely. That could be on the undercard of a big fight out of COVID-19. Oh yeah, I'll watch Jermell Charlo and Erislandy Lara. Absolutely, absolutely. I will watch that fight. I would want to see that fight. I just want to see the Charlos step up and fight somebody worth talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. What else? Yeah, I really don't want to, you know, talk about Anthony Joshua and Kubrat. D. Hodges, what's good? What's good? Stephen Wood said, everybody got time to recover now. It shouldn't be no excuses. I got Ryan, he more focused. Okay. I got Gervonta, you know, being in it. Look, I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen Ryan Garcia fight in person. I have seen him on TV. I've seen Tank Davis fight twice. And, you know, looking at comparison to Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, I just think that Tank has a lot more savage in him. He has a lot more experience. He's 3-time world champion. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia, of course, if he's able to come up here and perform the best he's ever did when he faces Gervonta, then he takes his career to a whole nother level. Of course, he takes his career to a whole nother level, man. But seriously, I just don't see it happening. I just don't think Ryan Garcia has that second gear to keep that savage off of him, man. Gervonta is a freaking Wolverine. He's a honey badger out of Baltimore, man. I'm serious. Look, y'all might look at him being tired in the Yogi game. Boy, that's the first time he went that distance, right? But seeing him in the fight, seeing him on the hunt, Tank stayed in the hunt. It was some times that he got caught. It's boxing though, but Tank stayed with the guns out. He stayed in the hunt on Gamboa, and he ended up getting the finish in the 12th round. It don't matter. Just like they say, a finish is a finish. What is boxing or it's goddamn mixed martial arts or Muay Thai, whatever. A finish is a finish. Ron is way quicker than Gamboa, absolutely. But he lacks the experience of Gamboa. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ryan Garcia, he may be a much faster fighter than Gamboa. We know that. You know, taking into consideration Gamboa's age and his time in boxing, to Ryan Garcia being a young lion on the hunt, we understand that. But when it comes to experience, when it comes to making those decisions when you get hurt, we saw Gamboa make those changes and adapt when he was in there with Tank. We see him make those decisions, and those decisions was good decisions that kept him in the fight. And look, even when he was hurt in the second round, he hurt his foot. It was a partial, Achilles tear, whatever it was. They made the changes or whatever, and then he came back out there and fought. We don't know if Ryan Garcia would have did that. We really don't know if Ryan Garcia would have took that same route. What's some other? We had some bantamweight bouts that's going on. Man, super bantamweight. I'm looking forward to seeing Navarrete get back in there. I know he had another fight scheduled, I believe. Emmanuel Navarrete, man, dude is a problem. Joshua Greer Jr. was scheduled for this month to face Jason Maloney. Looking forward to seeing him back in there. Put him on the undercard. I know Jamel Herring is slated to get back in there with Carl Frampton. That's going to be a good fight. That's going to be a damn good fight. That's going to be a nice one. If Carl Frampton come with the same energy that he had against McCreary, it's going to be a nice fight. It's going to be a nice fight, man. Hell yeah. I'm definitely looking forward. And you know who I'm going for? I'm going for Jamel Herring. Simplify all day. My comrade. Ryan versus Shakur is better. Ryan versus Shakur Stevenson, different weight classes, man. Those scales will not level out anytime soon. I don't think so. I know Shakur Stevenson has talked about moving up, but we're talking about Ryan Garcia being a lightweight, man. And Shakur Stevenson, no way, shape, or form, I see him moving up to lightweight anytime soon. Unless Ryan Garcia want to drop in weight, cool. But man, I don't see that fight. On paper, that would be a damn good fight. Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia. But, like I said, Shakur Stevenson ain't think about getting on the bus, man, and getting off at 135. Not right now, but in the future. I see Shakur Stevenson, before he ends his career, I see Shakur Stevenson being a welterweight. Seriously. I see him being a multi-time world champion. And I see him moving up as high as welterweight. Easy. I see Shakur Stevenson being a welterweight. Easy. Now, I can't say the same for Tank. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know. A little, height difference, and I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I can see him possibly going up to 140. But yeah. Shakur Stevenson, man, Ryan Garcia, that'd be a good fight. Of course, we will pay to see that fight. Right now, hey, if they came out and said Shakur Stevenson versus Ryan Garcia, after this, man, people would be like, oh, shit, I got to go ahead and make my thumbnail. I got to talk about this shit. This is going to be a damn good fight. People will go see that because why Shakur Stevenson is going to bring butts to the seat. And goddamn it, Ryan Garcia is going to bring butt to the seats, man. Both of those guys are going to bring people to the damn center and watch them fight. Seriously. Both of them are main attractions, really. It's according to where you at. Both of them are very good performers. And right now, they star power, man. People will come and see them fight. Sir Ken, what's good, man? Say salute to the wrenchers and salute the chat. Smash the like button. Appreciate that, Sir Ken. Everybody in the building. D. Hodges, CMB. Stephen Woods, I see you. Everybody's from Facebook. Appreciate you stopping through. Tony Burgess and Andrew Rodriguez. But yeah, man, some dream fights, man. If y'all got any other dream fights, let's talk about it. Some dream fights coming out of COVID-19. Look, I don't think boxing, with all the money, with all the fights that was canceled, I don't think they should come out with this tune-up fight card. I think we should come out with a heavy loaded fight card with some of the names that was waiting around. And we all know those names, man. We all know Errol Spencer's freaking, we was waiting on him to come back around April, May. You know what I'm saying? We all waiting to see how he looks in there. Definitely. And so, being that this talking point has been scrambled around like eggs, we want to say him and Terrence Crawford, but Terrence Crawford said, you know what, I'm over that shit. I don't think it's going to happen. So, see Errol Spence face somebody. I really don't want to see him fight Danny Garcia. Seriously, I mean, respect to Danny Garcia and his resume and all that, but I really want to see him fight a champion. Like I said earlier, I really want to see him fight the WBO Crawford or the WBA Manny Pacquiao. That's it. That's all I want to see with Errol Spence. I want to see somebody unify the welterweight division. The last person to do it was Zab Judah, period. And he ain't coming back. You know what I'm saying? He ain't coming back. And then at the 140-pound division, man, like the 140-pound division is, that's like the 140-pound division. It's a lot. It's active. You know, it's active down there, but it's almost like driving by a old Sears. You know what I'm saying? It's like driving by a Target or something, man. Like they have some good people at 140, man. You know, but I just can't really put that in the equation of super fights, or I mean big time fights I want to see. Are you talking about 135? Yes. 126, yeah. Bantamweight, yeah. You know, especially with Rigondeaux back down there. Rigondeaux is going to be set to fight for the belt not too long. I'm not sure if that fight was canceled, but Rigondeaux, man, he looked good at 118. Even though he was freaking pivoting out, counting with the right hook, he still looked good for that weight. Let's see what type of title run he's able to get on with his age. 154, like I said before, he has some good names up there. We don't know what Julian Williams, you know, what his forecast is, man, what his compass reading is. We don't know. Jared Hurd, the same thing. We don't know. Jason Rosario, it would have been great to hear Jason Rosario is fighting Jermell Charlo. Look, if Jason Rosario, after he defeated Julian Williams, if he would have came up there and said, hey, guess what? I don't want anybody else except Jermell Charlo. Period. I want to unify. I'm working towards unifying the entire division. That's who I want. I would have had so much more respect for a dude that's finally made it to the hilltop, just like Julian Williams, in devastating fashion. But yet he act like he don't want to call out anybody that's another champion. Like, dude, you just beat one of the guys who put on one of the best performances that we've seen at that division in a while when he fought Jared Hurd, right? Unfortunately, he suffered the same fate he did when he fought Jermall Charlo. And Julian Williams ain't out of the game, right? He'll be back. But the only thing I'm trying to say is the way Jason Rosario looked against Julian Williams, I was looking at him to get on the mic and say, you know what? I'm feeling good right now. I want Jermell Charlo. That would have pumped up Jermell Charlo and gave him that Tony Harrison energy. You know what I'm saying? That would have gave him that Tony Harrison. Oh, this motherfucker calling me out? Oh, hell no. This motherfucker just picked up a title. He calling me out? Now that would have made for a very good lead up during this isolation, this shutdown, to say, you know what? We might have Jason Rosario and Jermell Charlo when it's all over with. Josh Talks UFC. Salute to you, man. First time seeing you on deck. He said the UFC and Dana White better send Khabib a location quick. Hey, man, I feel you, Joshua. Josh, I feel you, bro. They need to send that man a location. The fight's supposed to be what? The 18th or something? They need to get that shit done, man. Hey, we checked the box on that, man. Hodges said the vid with his pops. Yeah. Haney versus Prograis. Haney versus Prograis would be a good fight stylistically. Because Prograis needs somebody. Haney ain't a knockout artist, right? So Haney gonna give you the volume. He's gonna give you the work. That's what I like about Devin Haney. Devin Haney is a solid fighter. Make no mistake about it. He matches up well against Regis Prograis. But to me, Regis take too much punishment. I said it already. I knew when he went in there against Josh. I knew Josh was gonna give him the business. I knew he was. But that fight right there, that matchup, Rougarou against Devin Haney, yeah. But unfortunately, Progress at 140. Progress is no way, shape, or form dropping down to 135, and Haney ain't moving up to 140 anytime soon. But dream fights, if they really want to shake it up, of course. Progress at junior welterweight, Haney at damn lightweight. If they somehow, the only way that can happen is that Haney move up. Progress ain't gonna make 135. You can guarantee that. Charlo Rosario for sure. Jamal versus Boo. Yeah. The history with Jamal Charlo and Boo Boo, man. Before they even had a belt, like, look, before Andrade, it's just like tomato, goddamn shit, Andrade, whatever. Before they even had a belt, Andrade had a belt. That's when the Charlo brothers was like, it was back and forth between them talking shit, and they tried to say that Andrade wanted to increase the ticket, like $100,000 or something to fight, and that's what made the fight fall out or whatever. So they said, you know what, we lost respect for him. We ain't gonna deal with him no more. So then Andrade ended up picking up the WBO strap, and we're like, okay, now that both of them have a belt, let them fight. And we haven't even seen that come remotely close, like nowhere even close to happening. Nowhere even close. Nowhere even close, man. I don't know why they just won't step in the ring. I mean, step in the room, sign the contract, and make it happen, man. I just don't know why. I just don't know. I can understand Boo Boo is not one of those big attractions, man, that you want to just say, I'm running through the ring to the arena to see him fight. Nah. But link him up with a Charlo, yeah, absolutely. Link him up with Jamal. Cool. But Jamal is on his Canelo shit, man. He want Canelo. He want a big name fight. I don't blame him. But, if you're looking at Canelo trying to fight Triple G again, then you might well cancel that. You're not going to see Canelo until 2021. That's even if Canelo give you the time of day. Better be Plant. That'd be a good fight, man. Better be Caleb Plant. Better be this 15-0, 15 knockouts. Of course, that'll be a great fight. Of course. But look, I don't think Better Be versus Plant would do more numbers, do bigger numbers than freaking David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? I think Plant versus Benavidez would do better numbers than Plant versus Better Be. But the hardcore boxing fans will pay to see that. But it's not hardcore boxing fans across the board. You know what I'm saying? So it'll take a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a damn good fight. People will want to see that. It will have to be at the right location too. But not so much with David Benavidez. That shit can be on any undercard, and it's popping. That's popping. Them two don't like each other. Caleb Plant basically said that David Benavidez is the easiest champion to go after. And that's what it is. He want that smoke. And Benavidez said the same thing. He want that Plant smoke. Grosso, what's good, man? He said, peace and health, fam. Fight fans lost Khabib versus Tony for the 5th time. How much money do they think they both wasted on the high-quality training partners, accommodation, coaching, nutrition, rest, and recovery? Man, you ain't never lied, Grosso. Hey, they lost a huge, heavy load, a dump truck full of money. They did. And look, the UFC, the gate alone, if you're talking about that fight being PPV, the gate alone probably lost close to 11 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, no earnings. So when you want to talk about what these fighters had to pay, the camp and everything, I really hope that, Dana White, with all the money in the company, I don't know, maybe there is some internal compensation, you know what I'm saying, that they was able to make happen. But, You know, you're talking about the training partners, the camps, the nutrition, you know, the housing. That shit is crazy. It probably costs a whole hell of a lot of money. And like you said, for the 5th time, at this time, it's been canceled. We don't know unless they send a location. Like if Dana send a location, Khabib is making it seem like he's ready to go. How'd you say, what's good? What's a good one at 175? Canelo versus who? So 175, Canelo. Who would I say Canelo? 175, I would have to say, though he won't take the fight, McCallum. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not going to be Sergey. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not going to be Anthony Yard. I mean, at 175, man, wasn't it somebody that just moved up to 175? Nah, I'm thinking of something else. I'm not even going to say his name. Yeah, he was talking shit. But, yeah, that was another weight class. Another person that I like a lot, man, that's waiting for the damn title shot. It would be good for Canelo if he really wanted to be 2-time light heavyweight champion to go challenge. But I think he'll get beat. Matter of fact, I'll call it. I know he'll get beat. I know he'll get outboxed. And that's Gilberto Ramirez. Gilberto Ramirez, man. I want Canelo to fight Gilberto Ramirez. That's the #1 ranked in the WBO. Absolutely. Gilberto Ramirez will give Canelo Alvarez the smoke. I will put money against anybody who wanna come out their pocket, cash app, whatever. Canelo Alvarez fight Gilberto Ramirez at 175. Period. If you want to try to catch somebody slipping, Canelo Alvarez, like you always do, you know what I'm saying? Besides Sergey gave up the fight. It's no way people going to convince me that was a damn combination and he all stumbling all over the place. Nah. If you really want to catch somebody slipping, let's see him fight Gilberto Ramirez, that's ranked #1 for the WBO. And it's only a matter of time before he is the WBO champion. I'm not sure why they haven't had the fight yet. But that's the fight I want to see at 175 if Canelo Alvarez goes back up. This Triple G shit, it's going to remind me of like being on lockdown right now. You know, I have my choice on what I want to do. You know, since I don't have too much to look at, I might say, okay, cool. Let's watch Canelo Alvarez and Triple G. Let's do it. Don't really watch that division. I think David will win. Plant get hit too much. When I saw Caleb Plant, their Hodges fight, Vincent Feigenboots, being he was a different type of fighter, right? Caleb Plant was much quicker, much slicker fighter. He did get touched a little bit, but it's boxing. You don't supposed to go the whole fight without getting hit. But I did see him in certain points of the fight. He did get touched. Real talk. And I was saying to myself, how is Feigenboots able to land like, you know, he's a slower fighter. I didn't think he'd be able to land that on Plant. But when you're talking about David Benavidez, we're talking about a whole nother type of striker. We're talking about range. We're talking about height advantage. We're talking about the way he sit up there and put his combination together on Caleb. I will say this. I don't think that Caleb Plant is quicker than David Benavidez. I don't think his hands are faster. Real talk. I don't think so. That'll be a good fight. I would want to see it. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to see it, man. Grosso said Canelo versus Beterbiev, but Canelo don't have the balls to take that fight. Canelo versus Beterbiev, man. Beterbiev is too much of a problem for Canelo. I'm not gonna lie. The whooping he put on Alexander, man, Canelo don't want that smoke. But you know what it would do? If Canelo was to step up to that fight, man, it would give him such a hands down consummation that he's the best pound for pound fighter. Period. If he was to go up there and fight Beterbiev, man, people look at him in a whole nother light, like, damn, Canelo's for real. You know, like he's the Mexican Floyd Mayweather of this era. Like, you can't knock that man. Rocky Fielding, he goes up there and fights Sergey, stops him, drop back down, beat the shit out of Gennady Golovkin. You know what I'm saying? Go back up and face Beterbiev, Arthur Beterbiev, defeat him. He's 15-1. Man, Canelo cannot be stopped if he run that gauntlet. Can't be stopped. Couldn't be stopped, y'all. If Canelo ran that track with those names on there, I don't think him going up there and fighting Beterbiev, I don't think it's gonna pop off like that. No, I don't see it, y'all. It's a good matchup, though. It's a good matchup. 15-0, 15 knockouts, really good. You know, on the Ring Magazine pound for pound, man, they got Arthur Beterbiev sitting at number 9. And even on freaking Andre Ward's pound for pound list, he had him at number 9 too. So you're talking about a guy who's 15-0, 15 knockouts. Then you have Vasily Lomachenko, who's always sitting up at number 2. And Andre Ward had him in number 3. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Benavidez, he gonna have some size on him for real. He said he better go back down to 168. Hey man, we're gonna see what's popping. Grosso, people fall in love with David Benavidez's hand speed, but his feet are hella slow. Plant is fundamentally more sound and more athletic than David. Plant would spin circles around him. I do agree with Plant boxing skills and the way he moves and everything, how slick, smooth, flowing. I agree with that. But when it comes to David Benavidez putting his hands together, his feet move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Like, he may not be as fluent as and look as smooth as Caleb Plant, but still he can get the rotation in. Like, he can put the combinations together. It will be a fight. Seriously. That fight, it would be a fight, y'all. I'm definitely hoping that those two, because as you all know, that David Benavidez tried to shoot him a freaking offer when he was coming off Vincent Figan boots, and they wanted him. They would have had to force him back in the training camp with only a week off. And Caleb Plant was like, "No, I turned it down because I don't have enough time, and my body would be overtrained, right?" So now COVID-19 has stepped in and says, "Shit, let me take this shit over. Let me do boxing a favor," because there's a lot of dream fights out there that people are just damn jogging around, checking the box. They're trying to damn sign the fight so we can see it. But what this has done is allowed fighters to have rest, allowed them to regroup, reset, and let's come back to the freaking table on a clean slate and say, let's make these fights. And that's what David Benavidez can now do with Caleb Plant. Because Caleb Plant, he can't complain now that he's coming off a fight. David Benavidez, he can't say, "Oh shit, my plan didn't work." He don't have a fight. So when all this is over, let's see Plant and Benavidez, because both of them had enough time, get back in training camp. Let's see this fight happen. Let's see it happen. Haji said Clarissa should be 1 or 2. She's undisputed. 2-time Olympian, undefeated. 1 or 2, what exactly? I'm not sure what you mean, Haji. It's like Clarissa should be 1 or 2 what? Because pound for pound in the women's division, she should be number 1. But I'm curious to know what you're saying, 1 or 2 and what? Overall pound for pound? Because I don't even think they have a freaking list out like that. Because look, boxing, they pretty much focus on the male pound for pound list. And yeah, you may see a female pound for pound, right? But in mixed martial arts, excuse me, the UFC used to have the male and females integrated a pound for pound. Until recently, they finally separated them and gave a single males pound for pound and females pound for pound. So Carissa Shields being pound for pound on what list? Overall, I don't know how that would work because look, Andre Ward just came out with a list and he didn't have no females on it, right? That was just males. So until the female have enough names to start a pound for pound list on their side, then we would have to compare Carissa Shields' record to the males that's already on the pound for pound list. And a lot of people are going to say, okay, let's do the medals and everything. When it comes to pound for pound list, medals really don't matter. It's all about what you did on the professional. The only person right now that they showing love to with medals is goddamn Vasily Lomachenko. That's the only person. But when you look at Vasily Lomachenko on the male side of the house, Carissa Shields on the female side, both of them are almost two of the same people, except Carissa has unified. You know what I'm saying? Vasily Lomachenko has not unified an entire division yet. And plus, Carissa did it in a shorter period of time. You know, she won her title on her fourth professional fight. You know, we know Vasily tried to do it in his second, but he did it in his third. So yeah, she has some bragging rights, man. She's the fastest to do it out of all male or female. But people are going to look at it like this. This is what the males are going to say. The males are going to say, well, let's look at the competition. Let's look at, you know, who she's fought. It's always going to be like that. Seriously. Seriously. That's going to be the argument for the ages. When it comes to comparing men's boxing to women's boxing, that's always going to be the topic of discussion. They're going to give Carissa Shields her accolades. They're going to give her respect. She deserved that. But then you look at it, it's going to be like, what about competition? Who has she fought? Comparable to the guys that's on the pound for pound list over here. Can we compare Carissa Shields' resume to Canelo Alvarez? Can we compare to Vasily Lomachenko, to the competition? You know what I'm saying? Can we compare it to Terrence Crawford? You know what I'm saying? We can say that she did it quicker than Terrence Crawford, you know, but Terrence Crawford is sitting like 36 and 0 right now. 36 and 0, 27 knockouts. I mean, that's what they're gonna look at. Like, okay, how do we wager the opposition? Yeah, she's a 3-division champ for sure. I said that. She's a 3-division champ, unified in 2. I mean, it's always going to be that debate, though. It's going to be that debate. Now she's due to face Dakari at 154, and they're going to throw in the WBA belt. So, you know, you're looking at a huge marker there too. If she goes up there and faces 17-0 Dakari and defeats her, that'll be another notch on her belt as undisputed in 2 divisions. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be great for real. But, you know, when it comes down to saying, okay, Dakari is 17-0, 0 knockouts. So you bring that to the male round table, the men. You bring them to former champions. Well, you can have female champions or whatever. The argument is always going to be, look at her competition. Look at the females' competition. We can't take away what she's able to accomplish, but look at the competition. Josh said UFC Amanda Nunes versus Carissa. Josh, you have to be a little bit more clear on that. Like, you're talking about Amanda Nunes in a ring or Carissa in a cage? Which one are you talking about? Denise Wars, what's good? Thanks for dropping in. Salute to you. Said good evening, listening in. For sure. And you have any questions about what's popping off, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Grosso say you didn't make a Wiley Jane versus JJ video. Absolutely did. Absolutely did, Grosso. I don't know if you was out at Walmart, buying up all the toilet paper, making sure you was properly prepared to hunker down during the COVID-19. But man, I absolutely did talk about Wiley Zhang and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Absolutely, man. Did I see the fight? Grosso, bro, what? Did I see the fight? Come on. That was one of the best fights ever, man. That was one of the best fights ever. Look, that was one of the best fights ever, man. Period. In women's sports, combat sports, that was one of the best fights. Well, I can't put that in Muay Thai kickboxing. I can't. Because Yorina Bars, she's a bad chick. So I would say it's one of the best in the UFC, hands down, period. Hard to say, Bud is the only undefeated champ, 3-champ division. List ain't shit. I totally agree. The list is pretty inconsistent as you look at it. You know what I'm saying? And looking at the people that's on the list, you have Vasily with a loss. You have Canelo with 1 loss, and then I think Andre Ward. His was Terrence Crawford first. All right, and they're not going to really pay too much attention and place any value on Andre Ward's list, right? But he said that Bud Crawford was number 1, and 2 was Canelo, 3 was Vasily Lomachenko, and 4 was Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? Look, he had Alexander Usyk number 5. He had Alexander Usyk number 5, being 6, I believe, was Terrence Crawford. I mean, you can take that for what it's worth, man. We can take that for what it's worth. Like the huge separation between Terrence Crawford number 1 and Terrence and Errol Spence being number 6. I mean, that's a huge separation. Huge. Josh said in the octagon. Okay. It won't happen. And like I said before, in order for Carissa Shields to be able to compete with an assassin, champ, bantamweight champion, featherweight champion, Amanda Nunes, in the cage, she's going to have to take up at least about 3 or 4 years. And by that time, Amanda Nunes will be too old. There's no way, no how that Carissa Shields can take any form, any level. I'm talking about jiu-jitsu. I'm talking about wrestling, Muay Thai, kickboxing, anything. Just because she has hands, Carissa Shields is not a power puncher. Okay, so some of you might say, okay, check this out. If she digressed from the heavier gloves down to the lighter gloves, the 4-ounce gloves, her hands will matter. Okay, I get it, right? Let's frame this though. So if by chance that is the case, being that Carissa is a fast, quick, swift boxer, she go on the 4-ounce gloves, she gonna feel real good. But then Amanda Nunes is gonna change up the plan and say, you know what? I'll just keep my distance and land leg kicks. So she hit in the low calf. That's going to slow her down from really sitting down because the power, whatever power she's going to have from the 4-ounce gloves, is going to come from her legs, right? So Amanda's just going to kick, break her legs down. And she may not even have to go in for a takedown. Because listen, in order for you to take a kick, you just can't train mixed martial arts and say, you know what, I'm going to get my legs acclimated to receiving a shin kick. You just can't do that. It's not going to work. It's all good. Look, it's a lot of sports that you can pretend, like going on the mitts for boxing. You can have a very nice mitt drill, dance in between, be on point, all that shit. But you still have to go in there and box, right? In MMA, it's a lot of shit that you can't be pretty with unless you actually know the technique. Like if you go up there kicking the mitts and your form is fucked up, people are going to see it. So for Carissa Shields to step in there with Amanda Nunes, she would get destroyed. And she would get absolutely destroyed. I don't care how many division champions she was in boxing. Carissa Shields steps in there with Amanda Nunes in a cage. She would get destroyed in one round. The reason why I say that is that women's boxing is 2-minute rounds, y'all. These women in mixed martial arts is going 5 rounds in a championship fight, 5 minutes per round. Do you know what it takes to be able to find out and say, okay, this is what I need to do. This is you know what I need to do. What I need to strike next. This is where I'm gonna go for a takedown, or I'm gonna keep it on the feet. Am I gonna throw kicks, punches? 5 freaking minutes. It's gonna take her a good couple of years to kind of understand what to do. Like, you're not gonna be on the outside running the cage with a fighter like Amanda Nunes. It's not gonna happen. She's too experienced. She's too lethal of a striker. And we've seen what happened to Ronda Rousey. We've seen what happened to Holly Holmes. We've seen a person who defeated Valentina Shevchenko twice. You know what I'm saying? Amanda Nunes is a problem. Now, of course, I have to switch it up. Amanda Nunes going over to the ring with Carissa Shields. Carissa Shields will have her in her domain. That's Carissa Shields' domain. But do I believe that Amanda Nunes, being that she's used to going 5 minutes per round, she won't last? It's possible she can go a decision with Carissa Shields. Seriously. The reason why I'm saying is that Amanda Nunes has taken punches, elbows, kicks. Her body is how you put it? Her body is conditioned different. Like, you're talking about a female who's taking punishment differently to the ribs, to the legs, and all that, right? So just say she go over there with Carissa. Now, if Amanda Nunes was stepping in there with an Ann Wolfe, if she was stepping in there with a Layla Ali, if she was stepping in there with I forgot Frazier's, a female who had more puncher power, I would say we might need to, kind of think about the puncher power. But Carissa Shields has 2 knockouts. So it's possible that Amanda Nunes, even though she might be down on rounds, 2 minutes per round, she can bullshit that. I'm not saying she ain't gonna take punishment now, but Amanda Nunes is not a Habashan. Let's get that straight. Amanda Nunes is not Habashan. She's not gonna go down for no body shots and shit. No, there's no way that I can co-sign on that. How you say, well, Usyk should be higher. He was undisputed. So Hodges, solid point. But when it came to Andre Ward, I believe he had Alexander Usyk at number 7. I believe, just because he was undisputed. And then number 8. Number 8 was Juan Estrada. And number 9 was Arthur Beterbiev, and number 10 was Manny Pacquiao. So if you look at the Ring magazine, they have Alexander Usyk at number 5. Andre Ward, kind of different a little bit with that. Andre Ward had Alexander Usyk number 5 too. Yeah. He had Tyson Fury number 4, Alexander Usyk number 5. Ring magazine had Usyk at number 5 too. So that kind of matched up the same. And then, the placeholders was number 8, 9, and 10. Juan Estrada, Beterbiev, and Manny Pacquiao. They closed out the 8, 9, and 10 on both lists. Hard to say I love her, but Shields better stay in her lane. I look at it like this, Hodges. Women's fighting, right, is still trying to prove that they can get that $5 million. Like Layla Ali, Carissa Shields at the MGM Grand should have talked on ESPN at the same time like Tony Harrison and freaking Jermell Charlo did. They should have gave each other that smoke. That's where women separate from the males, man. It's no way, no how you in the MGM Grand on one of the biggest fights in boxing history. And Layla Ali is up there by herself and she gets the stage all to herself. You know, she's Layla Ali. No. Carissa Shields should have came up, crashed the motherfucking party, and say, well, I'm here. The Flint, Michigan should have stood up and said, hey, you been saying something? You been talking? I'm here. Let's go. What we need to talk about. And everything that Carissa was saying, that Layla Ali is basically, you know, all the I wouldn't call it insults, but all the things she had to say about Ali and what Ali had to say about Shields, they all could have discussed it on ESPN, and believe me, that shit would have been fire. That video would have got so many views. That was a time for the ladies to step up and make a name for themselves, man, in this promotion game. We ain't talking about Shields versus Habashin, you know, people getting punched in the back of the head. We ain't talking about that shit. We're talking about a legitimate two fighters that the fans look at as being dangerous. And you're trying to get $5 million apiece. You're trying to get people to invest in your fight. That would have been an opportune time for them to step on the same camera, the same lens with everybody that's supposed to be right there and get it in verbally. That was the time that Carissa Shields could have goddamn put Layla Ali on the spot, and Ali could have put Carissa Shields on the spot, and both of them can talk shit real good. Let's see it. That was the time, man. But as I was saying, what I forgot to mention, Hodges, is this. Shields has accomplished so much, and she's not even 25 years old yet, I don't think, right? So take what Shields has accomplished and just say she goes over here and defeat the Kari and become undisputed as a second division, right? She's two division, undisputed champion. As so young in her career, she needs to find some other means to make money. So unless she's opening up a gym, which I highly doubt it, because women's boxing is not making that much money right now, she needs to find a way to make money. She needs to find a way to do something different. You know what I'm saying? She needs to create another star to shine on her as a combat specialist. And if it's mixed martial arts, let's do it. So the good thing about Carissa Shields, she's so young, she can train mixed martial arts for 2 years and go compete. She ain't the first female to do it. Heather Hardy has been doing that shit already. Amanda Nunes has been doing that already. Carissa Shields won't be breaking any barriers crossing over from boxing to mixed martial arts. Man, Heather Hardy and Amanda Serrano, they do that shit all the time. They'll go over there, have an MMA bout, and then they'll come back to boxing. Real talk. Grosso said Carissa has a special privilege because she can always go back to Colorado to the Olympic Training Center facility and train with the men's national wrestling team. She can close the gap in 18 months. I disagree, Grosso. For somebody who may be intensive in the ring, if she does have the access to go train, why would she go to the top of the Olympic team and she can't handle the regional wrestlers? She needs to start off at the regional level of wrestlers in these gyms is down here. Find a good solid coach that teach her takedown defense first and foremost. If you're a boxer with good hands, the first thing she need to do is practice takedown defense. And that could be, you know, in a jiu-jitsu class. She needs to practice her jiu-jitsu. The hip escapes, you know, practicing on her base, 2-point, 4-point connection. She need to be basically practicing on takedown defense, what's going to happen because she's going to get put on her back, how to work off her back, how to prevent an extensive amount of damage. It's so much to learn in jiu-jitsu, man, that if you take somebody that want to pretend like they know how to wrestle, there's no way that wrestler can pretend he knows jiu-jitsu. So I would suggest to Carissa, if you really want to start, Go in jiu-jitsu. It's going to tighten up your takedown. It's going to put you in a more comfort zone and not being a fish out of water. Once you're being tossed on your back, you won't be in panic mode trying to get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's UFC 1 or 2 and Horace Gracie is on top of these cats. You know what I'm saying? I would suggest you get into jiu-jitsu school, buckle down, take jiu-jitsu at least 4 times a week. Grab her a solid Muay Thai coach. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty solid Muay Thai coaches out there. She already has the hands. Learn how to put her hands with those kicks and work on her ground game. If we're talking about wrestling jiu-jitsu, definitely, I'm saying go jiu-jitsu. Absolutely. But hey, solid point there, Grosso. Real talk, solid point. I just don't agree with it. Josh would say, and Amanda Nunes basically destroyed Cyborg. Yeah, she did destroy her. She destroyed Cyborg like she destroyed Ronda Rousey, right? But also, I look at it this way, just being a little bit deeper in the fray. I believe that Cyborg took that way out to leave the sport in the UFC, to leave the UFC organization, not the sport, to leave the organization. Real talk. Because it was such a dispute between her and Dana White, man. She didn't feel like she was respected. She didn't feel like she would ever get that negotiating power, that they ever look at her as being one of those special fighters. So it was like, if I lose, I'm good, because once she get the belt back, the UFC has control over her once again. So therefore, she got her ass handed to her by Amanda Nunes. I'm not taking anything away from Amanda Nunes, but believe me, Cyborg fought like she was fighting Gina Carano. She, in my opinion, she was full steam in a game plan she didn't have to go about. She wasn't planning on winning. Cyborg wasn't planning on winning that night. That's what I'll say on that. You know what I'm saying? For her to take her second loss is no big deal, because guess what? She just signed with another organization and she just won another belt. She's the first, four-time female champion, I believe. 4 organizations she's been champion. She wasn't trying to win that fight. I'm going to keep it 100. I don't think Cyborg was trying to win that fight with Amanda Nunes, because if she would have won, the UFC would have had her in some type of contract where they had her for so many other fights. She didn't want that. She got her ass knocked out. She went over there and won in the division in the organization she signed to now, and she's champion. And she's getting paid. She's getting treated better. All that. Good point, man. Good point, Josh. Hard to say. I think she can gets kicked in the head. I think she can. She gets kicked in the head. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out who you're talking about, Hodges. I think she can. She get kicked in the head. Let me see. Who are you talking about? Because if you're talking about Carissa getting kicked in the head, she's in for a problem. Because you got to get your body adjusted to being kicked in the head by, a striker like Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes has been in the game, and we ain't talking about she's working her way up to know how to kick. Like Amanda Nunes can kick. She's fully qualified, certified mixed martial artist. Amanda Nunes is an absolute problem. So, but the only thing about this, check this out now. Amanda Nunes' highest weight has been featherweight, which is 145 pounds. And we all know Carissa Shields fought at 168, right? So Carissa Shields will have to drop down to a catch weight or something. The UFC don't have no 155-pound division. This ain't the PFL. The Professional Fight League has a women division 155 pounds, but not the UFC. Their highest division is 145. how you say, you got to watch out for the elbows, knees, chokes, submissions, etc. Stay in her lane. Yeah, she does, man. She does. But you know what? Serrano has went over there and got that ass whooped. Heather Hardy's went over there and got the ass whooped. And they still turn back to boxing. And look, people barely even know it, so they don't put too much emphasis in it. You don't hear people walking up to Heather Hardy saying, you know, well, you got your ass whooped in that MMA bout. A lot of people don't know. A lot of her fans don't know. When they switch over to MMA, you know, you're talking about the MMA fans, boxing fans. I mean, only the hardcore, the small amount of hardcore fans, they'd be like, they respect Heather Hardy for what she's doing. I respect Heather Hardy for what she's doing. She's a tough chick, man. She's a tough chick. I seen her take a shin kick to the nose. Her shit just, wow, imploded. And she still kept fighting. And they stopped the fight, though, but she still wanted to keep fighting. Amanda Serrano, she's just extremely bored, man. Amanda Serrano, man, she might be a 7th division champion, but she's extremely boring individual, in my opinion. I'm just saying. But I agree with you, Hodges. I mean, I look at it like this. I can't say I agree because she's very young in her boxing career. So why not challenge yourself and go out here and train for a good solid 2 years? Go in there, and I'm not saying fight a top 15 fighter. She has to get a tune-up in the top 15, though, if she want to even come close to facing Amanda Nunes. And that, look, for her to fight somebody outside the top 15 in women's mixed martial arts, it wouldn't work because this is not boxing. The mixed martial arts top 15, no, the mixed martial arts top 10 is much more interesting as far as being competitive, in my opinion, than the boxing top 10 in a way. So I don't know, man. Carissa Shields come over here and don't take a tune-up in mixed martial arts and face Amanda Nunes. Ooh, it'll bring some money. Just like when James Toney came in here and fought Randy Couture, people was there. I watched that fight. You know, like people was there. People was like, okay, I got to see this. I got to see if Randy Couture gonna get his ass knocked out because he had been knocked out before, right? What did he do? He quickly took James Toney down. I was like, man, you at least could have stood a little bit, allowed lights out to goddamn, you know, get off a little bit. But Randy Couture was like, no, I ain't taking no chances, man. Because he respected what James Toney was able to do with 4-ounce gloves. And he took him down, played with him, and they ended up submitting him. But one thing I say about James Toney, man, he didn't quit. Shout out to Lights Out, man. He did not fucking quit. And that was his first bout in mixed martial arts. That's what I'm saying. Carissa Shields, if she has to take, like James Toney came over there, he didn't really have hardly any freaking, mixed martial arts skill. He was just going in there with hands. That's it. And it showed. But for Carissa Shields, she has the time to practice mixed martial art, to get in a gym, embed herself, work on her jiu-jitsu game and her Muay Thai. She gonna have to leave the damn boxing ring alone a little bit. Or basically do this. She's gonna have to train boxing and integrate jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai into her training schedule. Because we all know she's going in there and defeating Dakari. We all know that shit. She's gonna go in there and outbox that chick. Look, that chick is 17-0, 0 knockouts, y'all. Do you think Carissa's really worried about being outboxed? No. How to say Floyd fought McGregor in MMA? He would have been wiped down. Absolutely. Floyd know better. Them legs, Floyd haven't took a kick before. I mean, no. It's a whole different strength when you're grappling, when you're clinching, that goes on. Now, Floyd having two hands in his domicile, his sport where he's dominated, Floyd did what Floyd did. He carried him for 10 rounds and gave the fans what they wanted. And the rest was what it was, man. Boom. Stopped him in 10. That's it. But him going in there, Conor McGregor would play. Look, Conor McGregor is so undisciplined when it comes to respect for sportsmanship. He would have humiliated Floyd Mayweather. Instead of taking him down, Conor McGregor, well, first of all, he would try to knock him out. Seriously. Conor McGregor would want to be the first male combat sports practitioner to knock Floyd Mayweather out. Conor McGregor wouldn't go in for a takedown right away. I don't even think he would have kicked Floyd. He would have sat up there and tried to counter him with those 4-ounce gloves on. He would have faked like he's going to change levels, get Floyd to react. Man, he would have just tried to humiliate Floyd, man. Seriously. It would have been it's a bad day. Floyd's smart. You know, I know he did that one freaking promo talking about what are the odds? What are the odds? I'm like, man, get your ass out that cage. You ain't going to no mixed martial arts, man. Stop playing. Grosso said Carissa is conditioned to keep her hands up all the time. And in all her interviews, Carissa is so open-minded to doing whatever it takes to learn new techniques. That's a dangerous person. I can't disagree with what's dangerous about a person's mindset if they choose to learn the different combat sports. Of course. Look, Carissa Shields is not only just a multi-division champion in boxing, she's a 2-time Olympian. Gold standard, right? You have to take that in consideration on what she was able to accomplish. This is not even devalued by the least bit. We understand that. That's not the topic. The topic is, if you're this young, being that the sport of mixed martial arts has evolved so much, like, come on, man. The sport, if we're talking about the women's mixed martial arts, Ronda Rousey and Liz Camacho, the sport has evolved tenfold from the first mixed martial arts fight at a bantamweight between Ronda Rousey and Liz Camacho. It's evolved. You just don't see somebody coming there doing a judo throw on an arm bar. You just don't see that shit. All Ronda Rousey wanted to do is work for the clinch. Get in close, work in the clinch, execute the throw, get top position, and work for an arm bar. If she was able to throw punches, she'd soften them up and throw punches, and then she'd work for the sub. Women mixed martial arts ain't nowhere close to that anymore. Nowhere close. You look at the Valentina Shevchenkos, you look at the Thug Rose Namajunas. Look, you look at the Wiley James, man, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. You look at the striking ability, and you're trying to tell me Ronda Rousey would have messed with these people at this stage in the game? I don't think so. It would have been cool to see Valentina Shevchenko fight Ronda Rousey at 135. The game has evolved so much that Carissa Shields would really, I mean, I'm serious. For somebody to just step in there with hardly any training, she would have to put in several years and she could still make a run at it. I would say even if Carissa Shields had her first MMA bout at 27 years old, she's like 24 right now, 23, 24, something like that. Just say she basically embedded herself and did 24, 25, about 3 or 4 years, and then had her first bout. Then you have to look at Amanda Nunes. She might be a little bit too old, but who's going to be champion then? Is Amanda Nunes still going to be champion? We don't know. She might decide to retire in the next 3 years. We don't know, man. That's the crazy thing about it. But, you know, I agree, Grosso. It is look, that's a dangerous person regardless, because she's one of the top 5% of elites, period, in the world on what she's been able to accomplish. And what she's been able to do in the boxing ring, she's in the top 1%. You know what I'm saying? She's the fastest to ever do it. So you have to give her props on that shit. You have to give her props on that. You know what I'm saying? Solid point, though. Solid points. But I would really hope that she don't rush it just for the money. I don't see Dana White paying them millions though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I know James Toney got paid. We're talking about, multi-time former world champion. And then, his star power and everything that went along with it. And then you take Carissa Shields. MMA fans have changed since James Toney. They wanted to see James Toney go over there and see if he was able to damn put hands on Randy Couture. But the MMA fans was like, okay, Randy, show this boxer he don't belong in the cage. You know what I'm saying? Who else has been over there and did that? You can't really say, you really can't say Ray Mercer, because Ray Mercer, he actually was taking up mixed martial arts. So you just can't say Ray, and he wasn't even active at the time as a fighter, as a boxer. So you can't say Ray Mercer did it, and when he came over there and knocked out Tim Sylvia. You can't really compare the two. You can't compare the two. But what Carissa Shields can do is embed herself, work on her ground game, work on remediate repetitious or kicks, punch combinations, kick, punch, kick combinations, work on getting those shins and elbows right, getting her body conditioned to take kicks, because, man, that shit hurt. That shit hurt. You know what I'm saying? Once you get kicked in the shin, you can't sit up there and run around the cage like, God damn, shit. Man, that motherfucker. Oh, hell no. Coach, I'm out. I thought this shit was a little bit different, but goddamn, Amanda just kicked the motherfucking life out of me. I'm out. Hell no. I got to go. Now, she has time. Believe it or not, look. I don't know. That's tough. That's tough. You know what I was about to say? I say she has time, being how young she is, to potentially, in mixed martial arts, try to make a title run, right? And then I said to myself, once again, the UFC does not have a division that's outside 145. And I don't think they're going to. They're not going to just open it up because the Olympian Kayla Harris, I believe, they're not going to insert another women's division because they just don't have enough women to compete on a regular basis outside of featherweight. Featherweight is 145. There's no way they can open up a lightweight division. There's no way. Right now, the lightweight division, the men's side of the house is 155, right? So how many women that'll fight 155 in the UFC right now? Holly Holmes? We really don't want to see Holly Holmes move up to 155. I mean, you have to have a good group of solid names that come over to the UFC. Maybe about 4 or 5 years from now, they'll open up a 155-pound division, but I don't see it happening right now. I think the divisions that the women have, though, is a small group compared to the man. They have the strawweight division, they have the lightweight division, the bantamweight division, and the featherweight division. That is it. The strawweight, lightweight, bantamweight, and featherweight division. It goes from 115 to 145. That's it for the women's. For the men, they start off. Look, for the men's division, they start off at flyweight, 125, and go up to bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight. And then you get into the hard hitters, you know what I'm saying? The welterweight and middleweight division, the light heavyweight and the heavyweight. You never have that in the women's side of the house. Never. The women would never equal the men when it comes to divisions in mixed martial arts. Never. It's no way. Women just aren't built like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not a host of women enough to build a freaking division and bring it to the UFC and allow the fans to be subjected to something more. I think it'll always be probably 135. I don't see the 145-pound division stand around. I don't know, man. Amanda Nunes is a champ, but who else at 145 is gonna give her a solid challenge, man? Holly Holmes couldn't get it done. She got knocked out. The only person I can see that will probably move back up to 135, Valentina Shevchenko, to kind of face Amanda Nunes for a third time. We'll see how that goes, But the one everybody talking about, I believe not Grosso, he might have mentioned her. Weili Zhang, I do believe if she remains champion, right? She may get enough guts and courage to step up to the flyweight division and challenge Valentina Shevchenko. From what I've seen with Joanna Jędrzejczyk, she ain't ready. Weili Zhang took too much punishment to go in there against Shevchenko. Shevchenko will sit up here and teach that girl a lesson seriously on what striking is and why she's a Muay Thai champion. And no, it ain't happening. Grosso say, truth be told, the pool of elite women fighters are very small. True words. True words. And not only are they small in boxing, but check this out. The pool of elite fighters when it comes to mixed martial arts, they pretty much, heavy the scale just a little bit more mixed martial arts, man. The people kind of look at these women in mixed martial arts as being more entertaining. Seriously, that's what they look at. They might have less divisions and, but people looking at them like the kicks, punches, the ground game, the overall mixed martial arts package that comes with entertaining the fans. Just like the fight between Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Weili Zhang, people look at that and they say, man, that's very entertaining to watch. But you're right, man. I don't know. It seems like technology, right, is improving when it comes to track and field, youth sports, all the college sports and professional. It seems like the training aspect is improving, right? Like they're getting much more technically advanced, right? But it seems like we don't see a lot of those female athletes transitioning over to boxing. You know what I'm saying? We just don't see them coming into boxing. We do see some of these Olympians that's willing to say, you know what? I'm gonna go over the mixed martial arts. Let me go in the gym. Let me get my ass whooped. Let me learn the game. Let me get seasoned, toned up, add some wrinkles. Learn this sport, treat it with respect. And they rather go over the mixed martial arts. It's not a lot of freaking women that's on the elite level in these other collective sports is saying, let me go be a boxer. Because it's just not people that's going to see them fight. It's not a collaborative effort that you're saying, you know what, they're going to bring butts to the seats, put them on the main event. Grosso say, you don't think Weili forward pressure, have Valentina fighting off the back foot? Man, Valentina Shevchenko will have Weili Zhang on her back like she's at a spa. For real. Like, man, come on, man. Valentina Shevchenko, her ground game has improved so much more, for real. Her ground game, in my opinion, is levels above Weili Zhang right now. Weili Zhang has power. She reminds me, when she was about to fight Jessica Andrade, right? I'll say, man, this is going to be a damn good fight. It's going to be a damn good fight. If Jessica Andrade, her power against Weili Zhang's power, and guess what? Weili Zhang prevailed. It wasn't like she used a different damn offensive game plan. She was just the more powerful puncher, landed the hardest shots, and she was able to stop Jessica Andrade. But when you talk about Weili Zhang stepping up with Valentina Shevchenko, pound for pound, in my opinion, one of the best mixed martial arts in the game, Weili Zhang will have a handful of problems from the opening bell. She can sit up here and try to rush Shevchenko, but Shevchenko is a smart fighter, man. That lady, I'm telling you, she's one of my favorite fighters. You know what I'm saying? Shevchenko is one of my favorite fighters. It's a tie for number one between Thug Rose Namajunas and Valentina Shevchenko. Even though Rose Namajunas got dumped on her head by Jessica Andrade, I still think she's a very solid striker. I do. But when it comes to overall, you're talking about the 125 to 115. I think it may be some times that Wiley Zhang may say, okay, let me push the pressure. But I believe the footwork and the overall skill set of Valentina Shevchenko, her kicks, her Muay Thai. Look, you're talking about a Muay Thai kickboxer at the highest level of Shevchenko. She is one of the elites to ever do it, right? She will have no problem in using the cage, using her footwork, setting up some kicks, setting up some punches on the counter. Man, she would give Wiley Zhang a lesson, in my opinion. But hey, we'll see if it happens, though, man. We'll see if Dana White, we'll see somehow that conversation starts to boil, a little bit, and people start saying, hey, we want to see Zhang versus Valentina Shevchenko. We think we can see that happen, champ versus champ, because Zhang will have to move up to lightweight. Shevchenko is not moving down to 115. There's no way. Grosso say Wiley seems physically stronger than most of these regular girls on her Instagram. She trains like a male athlete. She does seem to come off with strength. Look, it's undeniable Wiley Zhang is strong. Undeniable Wiley Zhang is strong, right? But how many times did she take Joanna Jędrzejczyk down? Did the fight end in a submission, or did it go the distance? With all that strength, how many takedowns was she able to get with Joanna Jędrzejczyk? Because I was waiting for her to go in for the takedown. She finally went in, and she was successful, right? But she didn't keep Joanna down. I was like, oh, shit. Joanna Jędrzejczyk is working on her takedown offense. She's working on her base. She's working on freaking making it back, standing. I was like, God damn, she's been working on her takedown offense. So looking at how strong Wiley Zhang is, she still has some work to do. When you transfer that over to the flyweight division, she ain't gonna be able to shoot in on Shevchenko like that and get a takedown on Shevchenko. It's not gonna happen. It might just be quite the opposite. It might be her working off her back against Shevchenko, and that ain't gonna be an easy task. But I would like to see it, though. I would like to see how she fares tit for tat, clinch for clinch. I would like to see how they work off the cage. It'll be interesting to see, man. Because sometime, we might be able to see Wiley Zhang in the clinch on the cage, and she might show that she's stronger than Shevchenko on the clinch. But then again, Shevchenko might change level and take her to the ground and might show that she's more dominant while she's on the ground in top position. It's so many factors to it. You know what I'm saying? It's so many factors that you can bleed into that. Very good question, man. What do you think about? Hey, let me ask you this, Grosso. What do you think about Thug Rose Namajunas coming back to face Jessica Andrade? How do you see that fight happening? Because we know, Thug Rose, if she would have let go of the body lock before she got dumped on her head, she probably would have been able to kind of, manipulate her landing a little bit and be on the bottom. But she held on to it, and Jessica Andrade dumped her on the head and knocked her out. How do you see that rematch playing out? Jessica Andrade against Thug Rose Namajunas. How do you see that playing out? But we'll see if Clarissa Shields ever make that decision, man. I don't want her to make that decision with her name, her undefeated. You know what I'm saying? She has that whole stature behind her that people looking at her like, okay, now you at a point where we want to see you lose. Like she's reached the point right now. She's undefeated, just 10-0, but she might have that weird support system like they had for Floyd Mayweather. Like people start to pay to see Floyd Mayweather lose. And Floyd said, okay, cool. You want to see the, all right, cool. Keep on paying. I'm gonna keep on collecting. So Clarissa Shields, being that she's been so dominant, people are gonna start saying, you know what? Yeah, she's been dominant, but let's see what this fight is gonna do. Let's see what that fight is gonna do. And Clarissa Shields, you know, she ended up being 15-0. They're gonna be like, oh shit. Okay, let's see if this gonna be the day. Let's go see if she be 16-0. People gonna start trying to see and pay and see if Carissa's gonna lose, especially when she becomes 2-division undisputed. People are definitely gonna be trying to tune in. She pick up a 2nd division undisputed champion, and you're not gonna be able to tell her shit. You already can't tell her shit, but you ain't gonna be able to tell a damn thing. And you know what? I'm really hoping that her and Layla Ali would have maturated some type of life. You know what I'm saying? The photosynthesis would have started to take place. I really was hoping to see some form of life. You know, the pathogens link up and say, hey, we have some type of bond that's going on here with this fight between Layla Ali and Clarissa Shields. Maybe this fight can happen. But it needs to happen sometime soon because Layla Ali is like 42 years old. She needs to get back in the gym and start cutting weight. Get her coordination, you know, get her hands back right. We need to see her back in training. Man, you know how much publicity? Look, the sad thing about if Layla Ali starts training for Clarissa Shields is that Layla Ali, with her name, her undefeated record, and everything else, she's going to get so much media attention. It's going to be so many media outlets trying to just like get a picture, just trying to see the transformation. It's going to be only a certain few media outlets allowed to freaking see what's going on with Layla Ali. They're going to give her that love because she has the last name Ali. You can rest, you can put everything on that. Clarissa could be who she is. She can have the accolades. But man, when it comes to Layla Ali, people are still going to show favoritism. I'm just being real, man. People are still going to show favoritism to Layla Ali. Seriously. Because she's Layla. She's Layla. Her dad was Muhammad Ali, man. It's no way around that. If she was to get back in training right now, and being that we have Clarissa Shields on the right-hand side with all these accolades and achievements, right? And then Layla Ali comes out of retirement, man, from start to finish, she'll probably get more exposure than Clarissa Shields ever got in her career. Don't say I didn't tell you. Grosso say, Rose would have whooped that ass. Rose is winning the first fight. Absolutely. You watch it. Yeah, absolutely. But I was talking about the rematch, though. You believe that, you know, Jessica Andrade, being that she was stopped by Wilder Jane, you know, that's after she defeated Thug Rose Namajunas. Do you think she'll come back to the damn fight with Thug Rose a little bit different? Grosso say Rose will win the rematch. Rose is miles and way better. The first fight was a definition of a fluke. Jessica's nose was bloody while she scooped that belt by accident. Well, let me see. Was it accident? Getting spiked on your head? I don't know, man. I don't know if it was an accident or not, but I put the blame on Thug Rose, man. Thug Rose should have let go of the body lock. She should have let go. She should have let go and braced for the fall. So an accident, it wasn't no accident because Andrade, whatever, she meant to dump Thug Rose on her head. That was purposely done. That was trained. That was repetition. She meant to dump Thug Rose on her head. Seriously. The one thing Jessica Andrade can say now that she's been a world champion, she can say that. But to not have defended it, No one's going to remember her. No one's going to remember Andrade being the strawweight champion. They're not going to remember, even though she has bragging rights and she's going to have the belt in her house and everything on display. People's going to be like, hey, you lost it. You got knocked out to Wally Zhang, man. Who cares? But Wally Zhang does have bragging rights because she was able to defend it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Joanna Jędrzejczyk has bragging rights. You know what I'm saying? Because she defended her title 5 times. Of course, she has bragging rights. Joanna Jędrzejczyk was so close to potentially being one of the greatest ever, to greatest women fighters ever, if she would have broke Ronda Rousey's record, right? That's not saying she ever would have been champ, but if she would have defended the bar was Ronda Rousey's 6 defenses. That was the bar. The one who started the women's bantamweight division. That was the bar. So if Joanna could have did that from a strawweight division, she could have potentially put herself in a whole nother category. But right now, if you look at the women's division, man, you got to look at Amanda Nunes as a champ. You got to look at it that way. Seriously. You have to look at it like she's the greatest UFC mixed martial arts in the women's division to do it. Josh said, Jessica just landed in Las Vegas. That gives me a bit of faith. We'll get an event on April 18th. Oh, that's what's up. Okay. You see Thug Rose till I say what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? Tell Thug Rose I say what's up. You know, I'm pulling for Thug Rose. I ain't gonna lie. But you know, if you're talking about somebody landing in Vegas, I'm curious to see why that's the case. Because where are they fighting in the U.S.? If Dana White already said he cannot do 10, a gathering of 10, I'm not sure, unless she's stepping in there to do the final week of training camp. Excuse me. The final week of training camp, I'm not sure why she's in Vegas. Where's this fight going to be? Hey, I'm gonna tell you somebody else that has a damn cage up there, but I doubt Dana will ever fight in there. Roy Jones Jr. has a gym up there. He has a cage, a nice one. You know, Roy Jones Jr. has a cage in his gym, man. But I know they wouldn't have that fight in there. And no, it's no way. His cage is nice, man. Very nice. Josh say Ronda Rousey would destroy Floyd in a boxing fight. Oh, that's what she said. But man, Floyd would have fucked her up, man. And you know, Ronda Rousey, I can say this, you know, with all the attention she was getting for being on top of the world, I get it. I get it, Ronda Rousey. You know, you was on top of the world. You was doing the same thing over and over again. Close distance, clinch, hip toss, hip throw, whatever. You know, use your judo. And, you know, the punches, work your punches. Dominate top position, work for the arm bar, whatever, if they give you the arm. That's what she was able to do until, you know, her opposition started figuring her out. You know, Holly Holmes had the boxing to manipulate Ronda Rousey's rhythm of getting in close. So whenever Ronda Rousey wanted to close distance with Holly Holmes, Holly said, you know what? I'm a multi-time boxing champion. I know how to move. I know how to freaking move. So when Ronda Rousey was trying to move in close to a boxing champ like Holly Holmes, Holly was like, slip, reset. Nah, she was just too much. She was the perfect opponent to beat Ronda Rousey at that time, Holly Holmes, because she had the boxing skills to do so. She knew how to keep distance. She knew how to use her footwork. Perfect fight. When she stunned Ronda Rousey and then hit her with that left high kick, it was a wrap. Beautiful. Grosso said, agree, you ain't a real champ until you defend. Hell with Connor. I totally agree with not being not being a real champ, certified. I would say certified, because they did win the belt, right? But this is what I would say for Conor McGregor, man. The one advantage people are going to give this man: 2 divisions. 13 seconds, y'all. To my boy Jose. 13 seconds. How? 13 seconds. This is what's going to give Conor McGregor. This is what's going to give him that pass. 13 seconds, Jose Aldo, right? Moves up to welterweight. Subbed out by Nate Diaz. Comes back and win the division, right? Win a decision, right? Drops back down to 145. 155. Face Eddie Alvarez, the underground king, been a champion in every organization. He goes over there and outstrike Eddie Alvarez? What? Conor McGregor picks up a second championship? He becomes the first champ, which set precedents for him to get a pass and not defending his belts, Grosso. You know what I'm saying? That pushed Conor to a different lineup and get the pass. It did, man. He didn't defend one freaking title, but yet he chose to go over there and fight Floyd Mayweather. But what the people are going to look at is say, you know what, Conor McGregor, he dusted off Chad Mendez. He went in there and knocked out Jose Aldo. Being that they land at the same time, a lot of people can call that with a fluke or whatever, but they landed 13 seconds. Went up there and fought Nate Diaz twice at welterweight. Dropped back down to 155. Dusted off freaking Eddie Alvarez. You couldn't tell the man nothing. Nothing. You can't tell him nothing. He was the first to do it. He was the first to do it, y'all. Conor McGregor will always get a pass for not defending his freaking titles. But the hardcore fans will say, you know what, fuck that. He should have defended his title at least once. But Conor McGregor said, you know what, I'm a Hall of Famer. I was the first champ. Dana White is going to put him in the Hall of Fame. Probably the first ballot time he retire. I know Dana White can't wait to put Conor McGregor in the Hall of Fame. He cannot freaking wait. But also we have to look at what did Conor McGregor, what has he done after that? You can't come in here and talk about, he gave Cowboy Cerrone some shoulder strikes. And, he kicked him on the right side of his face and, missed the flying knee. No. We need to talk about when you stepped in there, your first fight back, and you were subbed out by Khabib in 4. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to talk about. That's what we need to talk about. Because we was waiting on the champ to return to the cage. You did that, and Khabib shut you down. But he's still going to be in the Hall of Fame, people. Josh say this sounds stupid, but I think the event on April 18th could be on a yacht or a plane. Ugh. What you're not going to do is get me to agree with you on that. Shit. That shit ain't going to happen. But look, could you imagine that, though? Could you imagine that shit? Can't no octagon fit on no goddamn plane. I've rode on some of the biggest planes and, going over in country. I don't see it happening, man. I don't see it happening. Josh say, people say Conor is one of the best lightweights ever. But he's 1-1 at the weight class. People are always going to say Conor McGregor is the best this, best that at the titles that he won. You know what I'm saying? How can he be the best lightweight ever? Just because he went in there and touched up Eddie Alvarez. How? How? You defeated the undeveloped Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. You know what I'm saying? Like, you defeated them when they was undeveloped, when they were still in the maturation process. You know what I'm saying? But who has he defeated since earning the belts from the new horses in the game? You know what I'm saying? In order for him to be considered the best lightweight, he has to go in there, rematch Khabib, and defeat Khabib. Then all bets are off. Period. No questions. The best lightweight in the sport will be Conor McGregor. And then again, you would have people be like, well, how can you say Conor McGregor is the best when you have Khabib, who sit up here and face Edson Barbosa, you know, the Michael Johnsons? You know what I'm saying? Like, he went up there and subbed out Dustin Poirier. He subbed out Conor McGregor. He defeated Al Alaquinta, even though it was last-minute replacement. You know what I'm saying? They're going to say the man only has one loss. But Conor McGregor, inside the UFC, he's been subbed by Nate Diaz. He's been subbed by Khabib Nurmagomedov. But he has a total of like 4 losses, don't he? Because he came into the UFC with a couple of losses. Josh said Jose Aldo in his prime was unbelievable. Yeah, man. And that's what I look at, man. Josh, that's what I look at. Jose, I say, shit. 13 freaking seconds, Jose. Oh, my God. How's he going to go back to Brazil? And people look at him like, damn, Jose, 13 seconds, Conor, he hits that hard? For real, he hits that hard, Jose? Damn. Khabib beats Conor 9 out of 10 times. We're not going to disagree with that. I truly believe Khabib's the better fighter. And, you know, unfortunately, Dana may try to stall out. I don't know. You know, and they put an IG live out there, and Khabib was talking to the fans and everything, right? And Notorious MMA popped up. Man, Conor McGregor needs to stop being a little groupie, man, and earn his spotlight back the right way. Because Khabib is not going to give you that spotlight on his IG live. Something as petty as IG live. He's not going to do that because Conor disrespected him so much, man. Conor McGregor came there with a bunch of guys out of his damn mind, had to pay civil suits out of court, all for his little friend Artem Lobov. And shout out to Artem Lobov, man, the crusher, man. Good dude. You know, look, Artem Lobov is no Conor McGregor. I talked to him one-on-one. Artem Lobov is no Conor McGregor, man. He's a good dude. I will always say this. I interviewed the guy. I talked to him one-on-one. He's a good dude, man. No matter what the fuck anybody else say, Artem Lobov, man, as a person, the way he explained the situation that was going, man, he's a good dude, man. He's not Conor McGregor. But does he have a loyalty, so to speak, to Conor McGregor? Of course, because he's been there for the test of time. So for Conor McGregor to do what he did because of Artem Lobov, you know how it is, man. You know how it is, bro. Josh said Khabib has did more at lightweight than Conor. Straight facts. Yeah. He's fought more. He's top. His competition has been better. His resume is better too. I would have liked to see Michael Johnson fight Conor McGregor. You know what I'm saying? That would have been good. Even Edson Barbosa, man. Edson Barbosa's been on a losing streak, though. A lot of people was freaking discounting or doubting Khabib because he went the distance with Al Alaquinta. But Alaquinta, it just isn't a fighter who lays down. Like, it's a weird connection. Because you think about Matt Serra, who fought GSP that time and was able to get the upset. I believe they in the same camp. He's just a tough, a dude that'll grind you out. He's a tough dude. And for him to take that fight on short notice just goes to tell you what he's about, man. He's about that. So he went in there and actually fought. Khabib took him down, but look, Khabib didn't beat Alaquinta ass like he did Michael Johnson, Essen Barbosa. It didn't go down like that. Alaquinta was taken down, and you're talking about somebody who didn't even freaking come back for a rematch? Like, why? Alaquinta, he didn't get his ass beat. He got outworked, but he didn't get his ass beat. So why he didn't come back for a second go around, it beats the hell out of me. But you know what? Khabib probably said, come back a second time. I took it light on you because you took the bout on short notice, but you come back a second time. Believe me, my friend. It's going to be a beating. Okay, my friend? All right. Just say Tony deserves to fight with Khabib. The UFC, Dana White better not try to do a Khabib versus Conor. If this Khabib and Tony fight doesn't happen, hey man, we smell it, don't we? We smell that Khabib versus freaking Conor. But man, he'll catch so much backlash. Oh my God. You know what? I really don't think Dana's trying to fuck with Tony like that. Tony already got a little, he got nuts and bolts. Shake it to the left, to the right. You know what I'm saying? Tony, you ain't trying to fuck with Tony Ferguson like that right now. Tony Ferguson might come in there full of blood and say, hey, what Dana at? Tony, what you doing here? What's going on? Where all that blood come? I just want to know what Dana's at. That's all. Just tell me what Dana's at. That's gonna be Tony Ferguson. He's gonna be covered in blood. Say, hey, just what's Dana? Tell him I'm gonna talk to him for a second. Just bring him out here for a second. But you're not gonna be able to talk to the boss when you're covered in blood. I know. I wash up after the conversation. But somebody told me that that's gonna be Khabib and Conor, right? It's not gonna be me and Khabib anymore. And you're talking about somebody who's been scheduled, 4 times earlier. You trying to say I'm not going to be on deck? Okay, yeah. I definitely need to talk to Dana. Where is he? We just have a little bit to talk about. That's all. And tell the guy this, whoever's handling the lights. Where's the guy who handling the light? Cut the lights off. Yeah, I'm not going to want to see this. Tony Ferguson would be on some other shit, man. Tony Ferguson be on his goddamn, man. He'd be on his freaking Saw. That motherfucker be on some other shit, man. I Am Legend ain't gonna have shit on Tony Ferguson, man. That is not a person you just want to screw with like that. I'm telling you, Tony Ferguson changed up the game for life. Just say Alaquinta is a warrior. People act like he isn't a good fighter. Alaquinta is straight up get my respect, man. Alaquinta is straight up. Whether he sell real estate or not, the man is supporting his family. I have mad respect for Alaquinta. I had mad respect when he took the fight on short notice against Khabib and went the distance. And I even had more respect when Khabib took him down and he couldn't keep him down. I have mad respect for Alaquinta, man. He's just never going to get the respect because he doesn't mesh well with the fans. I always like it when he's like, you booing me? You booing me? Fuck you. Of course, I fuck you. You booing me? Man, you don't fuck with Al. Shit. You don't do that shit to Al. Grosso say boxer talk. If Team Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor offered to hire you for film study and corner work, which team would you roll with and who would win? I will have to go with Jose Ramirez. I just think he's a more exciting fighter than me. I would do Jose Ramirez. I would want to follow Jose Ramirez, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I was just want to follow that because the one thing about Josh Taylor, I would be talking about Rougarou a little bit too much because I called it. I knew Rougarou wasn't going to win against Josh Taylor. I knew he wasn't. And I like Josh Taylor. You know, I do. But I think Jose Ramirez, man, I give him the edge when it comes to overall boxing skills, man. I think he's going to win that fight. You know, like I said, I like the matchup. I like what both of these fighters has to bring, real talk. But I want to work with Jose Ramirez, man. Good question. Good question. You asked me who I would want to work with if I had the opportunity to work with Khabib or Tony Ferguson. Khabib or Tony Ferguson? I have to say Tony Ferguson. Because I know what I'm gonna get out of Khabib. I know he's gonna subject me to some shit that, you know, that that you see out there in this motherfucking Serengeti. I know he's a different type of dude. I know it. But with Tony Ferguson, I don't know what the hell to expect. The element of surprise with Ferg. You know, I would want something to be subjected to something different. You know, see what the dark side is like with Tony Ferguson. What is this dude really like behind the scenes? Because he's a different dude. Tony Ferguson is a different dude, man. I'm telling you. Tony Ferguson took a lot of punishment, man. He's a different type of cat. And I really hope that he doesn't get himself in trouble. I don't like the comparison or whatever. I really don't. You know, I really hope that Tony Ferguson don't go out here and do something crazy to people that's around him, his family and stuff like that. Because Tony Ferguson is a different type of dude, man. Real life. I hope we don't get no Benoit type stuff or anything like that. I just see him. I just hope he keeps his sanity and stuff like that. And I really don't know what he's gonna do outside of MMA, man. I don't know, man. You talking about a dude who say, "Oh well, I ain't sparring. You know, I don't spar. I don't do this." And he loves punishment. Well, that's only gonna go so far when your body starts to, you know, increase in age. Your body starts to change, and then you don't have all that time. Like you pass your fighting career, and you don't have all this time to like invest in fight camp. You know what I'm saying? And get off, release that energy. What is he gonna do, man? He's already had incidents. I just hope he keep it together, man. Tony Ferguson's 36 in his prime. This fight has to happen this year. Tony won't be in his prime forever. It's now or ever. You know, looking at Tony and the punishment he received, I wouldn't doubt that this fight is a little bit easier for Khabib than people think it's going to be. Because Tony has been in some wars. Seriously. Tony may be this unique character, almost like this mixed martial arts superhero. But I'm telling you, Tony is 40 in fight years. He's 45, 46. Tony has taken some punishment, man. Don't be surprised that Khabib doesn't handle him much easier than you think. Seriously, don't be surprised. Don't be shocked that it goes down a little bit easier, people, than what you expect. Josh said, I want to ask, I'm starting to get into MMA interview scene, and I want to ask what would be the best way to get interviews with fighters and coaches. Would I message them on social? Look, if you have a free access point, right, which is social media, absolutely hit them up, right? I'm not saying they're going to answer you, but hit them up. I'm not sure where you're located right now, what region you're in. But I'm going to tell you, show up to the gym and ask whoever the coach is or whoever's the owner. That's how you do it. You have to show up. MMA is a whole different lines then. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you walking in there with meat dripping blood in your hand. Like, what do you have to offer? Like MMA fighters are a different breed of people. Like in boxing, you can walk up and get an interview with a boxer and it may go okay for you. Like it may be, oh man, that wasn't that bad. All right. That wasn't that bad. I done heard so many things, but MMA, no. Mixed martial arts, much different breed of people. So what I would say, hit them up on social media. If you local, go to a gym, especially if they have some well-known fighters, some popular names, or a big-time gym in the area. Go there, check them out, and one fighter know another fighter that know another fighter, and that's how you can continue to connect. I'm not really connected, deeply connected in the mixed martial arts community. I just get in, tactically. I get in where I can. I maneuver through the obstacle course and link up and try to communicate and stuff like that. But I'm be honest with you, Josh. It's not an easy. That's why you don't see just any media at the UFC events. I'm telling you, it's not that easy. I can talk as much as I want to. I wanna go there and interview some of the UFC fighters. Seriously, I could talk mixed martial arts and boxing all day, but when it comes to mixed martial arts, for some reason, man, it's an acquired taste, man. It's different. It's different. They're not as easily accessible as opening the door for you if you don't have anybody that's vouching for you. That's real, bro. But hey, good luck out there, man. Make that shit happen. Salute, Don Dollar. How you feel, man? Good to see you in the building. So if you had opportunity there, Josh, to interview a male or female fighter, who would be your first interview? Josh say, after MMA, Tony could get into coaching stuff. He's crazy, but could help young fighters out. Possibly. I don't know if a guy who is tossing boxes around there, Josh, you know what I'm saying, suplexing boxes, I don't know if he's going to be good for coaching, because what's unique to him may not be something that a team would say, you know what, Tony, teach them how to suplex a box. Teach them how to deaden nerves off a pole. That may work. There's plenty of ways to deaden nerves and numb, shit like that. But Tony might have them out here trying to see if they can have both of their legs ran over by a Prius and say, it's just a Prius. It's electric. Have them run over both of your legs. That would toughen you up. You know what I'm saying? The shins only. Just have them run back and forth over your shins in a Prius, and then we go in there and then we're going to practice on the bag. They may not want to see that, man. Tony might be so far off, they don't want it in their school, man. And I'm not sure if Tony's opened a school up yet. Grosso say, fantasy fight, Kobe Covington, Khabib, who will win? That's a good fight. Two different weight classes, of course. Kobe Covington is at welterweight right now. Khabib is too small for 170. So if Kobe Covington wanted to drop down to 155, man, I have to give the fight to Khabib. If Kobe Covington is dropping down to 155, I got to take in consideration, is his body is going to, adjust well to the lower division? Is he still going to have that strength and speed that he has at 170? I don't know, man. Look at that difference. Look at that difference, man. 15 pounds? I don't know, man. I just don't know. I will have to give it to Khabib, to be honest. I don't know. I couldn't tell you that Kobe Covington will float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Because look, in there with Kamaru Usman, I was impressed with Kobe's hands. All right, I knew he had wrestling, but I was like, damn, his hands is on point. He was stiffening Kamaru Usman up sometimes, right? But also he was taking some punishment. I don't know, man. Him dropping down to 155, I don't know. I don't think that 15-pound weight difference would be suitable for going in there against somebody like Khabib. But for Khabib to move up to 170, I would have to go with Kobe Covington, man. Seriously. His takedown defense, his wrestling, all that shit. His hands. Look, Kobe Covington has better hands than Khabib, period. But when it comes to Sambo versus wrestling, it depends on who's in whose weight class. If Kobe drops down to 155, I truly would tell you that I think that Khabib will have the advantage. If Khabib move up being a smaller fight at 170, he get destroyed. Khabib is tough, but Kobe Covington will work him over easily. That's just my opinion, man. Good question, man. Good question. Shout out Don Dada. Just say I get a lot of hate, but probably Kobe, Covington, and female Shevchenko and Zhang. Okay. Female, definitely for me, Shevchenko, definitely. And on the male side of the house, if I had an opportunity to interview, I would want to interview DC. DC has much more of approachable, personality than me. He's a funny dude. And see, with DC, he's been able to become one of the greatest at not having the aesthetics that you would look for in a fighter. Even when he was moving from Strikeforce over, through that Grand Prix, winning and moving over to the UFC and fighting light heavyweight because his friend Cain Velasquez was heavyweight, that's the person I want to talk to. And also, I will come bearing gifts. I will definitely step in the interview bearing gifts. I will come with a fresh bucket of Popeye's chicken, red beans and rice, hot biscuits. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I will do the interview with me and DC polishing off a freaking bucket of chicken, man. Yeah, absolutely. I think Daniel Cormier, his freaking interview would be hilarious. Seriously. I truly think he's a funny dude. And especially if we talk about some of the fights that he was in from Strikeforce over to the UFC. Yeah. I want to interview Daniel Cormier, period. Nah, Dundallah, I wasn't. Nope. I wish, but I wasn't. Josh said, do you have contact manager coaches to get interviews from fighters for YouTube videos? Because I wanted to start doing YouTube video interview. The manager, I have 3. Me, myself, and I do all the legwork. That's why it gets tough at times. But you have to communicate. You have to pick up the phone. You have to start establishing your entire freaking platform. It's tough. You have to go through the legwork. If you want to create a site, if you just want to create YouTube, cool. YouTube is simple. You come up, you get your logo, you have that created. You do, man. YouTube is the easiest platform to create. You just have to allow yourself to be on a regular basis to get people to attend and listen to you and start tuning in and get the viewership and the subscribers. The only way you're going to get the views to come up, you have to get the subscribers. Hopefully they're hitting the bell to get the notifications. It's been poor lately, but yeah, you got to get people to support you. It's tough, man. You just got to give it consistency over and over, man. Rotation. That's all you got to do. But I do all my leg work. Every bit of it. Josh say, and I live in Scotland, so there's a lot of MMA fighters out there. Okay, for sure, man. Shout out to Scotland. Josh say Derek Lewis would be a fun interview to do. For me, if I had the opportunity to interview one of the more popular names, first, I'm talking about first. We're talking about the top dogs. I said Shevchenko, she's a champion. Plus, she has her Muay Thai kickboxing history before she went to the UFC. But then again, I'm talking about the champ DC. I understand Derek Lewis is funny. He hasn't made it and become champion yet. All right. His game is still limited. But DC is a future Hall of Famer. Now that I know DC is close to retirement and he's on his way out the door, I would want to talk to DC. I would want to. You're talking about the light heavyweight and heavyweight champion at one point. Absolutely, I want to talk to nobody else but DC. I want to talk to John Jones. I want to speak to DC. The reason why I want to talk to DC because I just think for every minute I'm there, it's going to be something funny. He's going to have abundance of knowledge from where he's been and to where he's traveled during his MMA career. That's it. With John Jones, I just think it won't be as, I don't know, man. I don't think it'll be as open-ended. You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be some quiet time in between. I say, you okay? Bones, you good? You good, man? All right, man. You got a little quiet there. I mean, let me know if I got to step out. Cause I ain't trying to have John Jones, have a flashback or anything. I just don't think he would be. I don't know, man. I might be wrong about Jones, but my first choice would be DC, hands down, period. No question. Don Dollar said, I thought I seen you ringside for the PBC fight on replay. You probably seen me ringside. I'm not sure if it was for Spence Porter because I wasn't there. I wasn't there for the Spence Porter. But I'm on some Showtime playbacks. And but to be honest, when I'm on deck, man, and I'm shooting. I'm not even looking for the camera. If the camera catch me, cool. But I'm trying to get every freaking shot I can get. Like I'm trying to come back with many shots. I'm not even paying attention to the camera. Real talk. I'm just trying to get as many shots the put into social media and videos and interviews that I possibly can. What's going on, Lion Killer? Salute, man. Hey, I was gonna hit you up after this, man. That setup is nice, bro. I was just checking it out on my phone. I was like, God damn, that shit is on point, bro. That shit's looking like you ready for prime time. God damn it, shit. You ready to goddamn have Layla Ali up in there to talk about her comeback fight with Carissa Shields. Man, there go the link, bro. You know what it is? Josh say, I would try to interview some fighters and coaches. That are underrated. Or a fighter or coach that's young in their career and try to make my way up. But it would be hard to get interviews with fighters. Hey, Josh, I'm going to tell you like this. If you interview and you go in there and interview like you've interviewed the top of the food chain already, you yourself have to practice on the interview. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't interview everybody the same. It's just, something that's between me and myself. I don't interview every fighter the same. Some I have some very fluent, interviews, the questions and everything flow accordingly. And then some I'm like, but don't go in there as if you just starting off like you asked about this and you're trying to take it up and start interviewing. You go in there and interview them like you know what you know about mixed martial arts. That's all you have to do. Whoever you step in there with, This is one thing you need to understand about doing interviews on site. If you walk into a gym and they say, okay, after they get through practicing, you can interview. Who you want to interview? I want to interview him and him. Okay, cool. What you should understand is make sure you look up a little bit of history if you don't already know on that fighter. So, because you got to have an opening, starting point. You have to know something about the fighter to kick up a conversation. You know, yeah, they had training. Say, hey, first of all, how was training? I saw you in there and everything. And once that's over with, some fighters will give you a full sentence, and some fighters say, oh, it's okay. And then they just stop talking. And you like looking like, huh? That's all you got to say. Okay. Well, I'm so-and-so. You introduce yourself, blah, blah, blah. You just got to have some talking points, man. That's all. You just got to have some talking points, man, and keep it flowing. You got to know a little bit of history. So take your phone, look up some history, keep the conversation going, you know, keep them happy, because after practice, they ain't happy. I don't know if you ever been to mixed martial arts training. People, y'all better stop hating on these mixed martial arts, man. That shit is tough. Man, MMA training, oh my goodness, yo. I mean, man, I'm not saying boxing training ain't hard, but some of the drills they do on the mat, like starting off at the bottom, starting off in what they call it, in a dangerous position. You're starting off the timer in a dangerous position, and you're working your way to a better position. You're working on transitions. You're working on counters. You're working to get yourself out of that dangerous submission. I'm telling you, that shit is crazy. I'm about to say, I knew I should have taken a screenshot. Yeah, man, you would have taken a screenshot, man. I would have told you if that was me or not. Definitely. Hey, man, Kill, I put the link up there, man. You don't see the link? I put the link up there. Josh say, thanks for the advice, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, man, no problem. Just make sure that above all else, if you're gonna go up here and interview mixed martial artists, at least know something about their last fight. At least know something about their history. Something. At least know something about them in general, enough for them to, you know, have interest. You know what I'm saying? Just have interest in speaking to you, because some of them ain't the nicest. Some of them are cool and some of them aren't. So at least just like have an opening statement. Keep it on them. If they ask who you are, you know, you tell them who you are. You create a media name for yourself and you rock it from there. You know, but one thing I wouldn't do with mixed martial artists, right, is try to go detail for detail. You know what I'm saying? On certain technique. Don't try to go detail for detail, because what they know in the gym and all these code words and signs, they're gonna throw some shit back at you. And you're like, what is that? So if you're explaining something that happened on a fight they had on TV or something, or whatever the case, just keep it simple. If it was a left high kick, keep it as a left high kick. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to make it any goddamn technical. You know, if you say, oh, you won by submission, don't try to say, well, you won by Gogo Plata, Kimura, you know, and you get it wrong. They're gonna say, nah, it wasn't that. It wasn't either one of those. It was a Darce choke. You know what I'm saying? They can be like, what are you talking about? Was the arm in triangle or what we talking about? Just keep it simple. You know, because I get educated first before I try to fuck up. I say, what was the submission that you got in that fight against so-and-so? And they'll tell you. They know. Just keep it simple. Obviously, wouldn't try to get an interview with Khabib straight away, but some upcoming fighters or coaches. Khabib, I wouldn't want to interview with Khabib. That's just me. I wouldn't want to interview with Khabib. I'm just keeping it. Real as I possibly can. I don't think he'd be a good interview. I wouldn't want to have an interview with Khabib. Don Dollar said, "World Combat Sports dropping interview gems, man. Hey, man, I came from the bottom with this interview stuff, man. I know it's like 11 o'clock. I really don't want to go into detail, but it was a grind, man. Doing boxing and MMA, and all that. Did mostly boxing interviews. It's a grind, man, because you interviewing fighters on the regional level. Some of them guys care and some don't care. Some coaches care, some don't care. But whatever you get, you got to treat that shit like it's special. You know what I'm saying? Because if you plan on interviewing them same fighters, I mean, if you plan on staying on the regional level in that area, you're going to see that fighter again. So if you and him didn't really kick it off right the first time, then the second time around, it might be a little bit better. You might say, "Oh, I remember so-and-so." That's how it works, man. Once a fighter get familiar with you say, "All right, cool. I know who they are. All right, cool. We good. We good." And some, you just walk the other way. I ain't gonna lie. Sergey Kovalev told me in an interview. I was all hyped up. His manager and everything was there. And, I'm not going to even call it. You know who his manager is. So, we was in the hotel. So I'm standing in the hotel. So I'm like talking to his manager. Any way I can get, an interview with Sergey? Oh, he should be free and blah, blah, blah. So I'm walking to the elevator with Sergey and Buddy McGirt. And we get on the elevator and I got my phone. And I said, "Sergey, how you doing, champ?" And blah, blah, blah. So, and then I started to ask him a question. He said, "No phone. Put phone away." I said, this is the whole point of me doing an interview. Like, I actually introduced who I was. I said, "This is Scotty White, World Combat Sports. Sergey, nice to meet you." I introduced myself and everything. And I have my phone up like this. And Sergey said, "No phone. Put phone away." I was like, I just thought the interview, I did an interview with Sergey, man. It was a waste of time for me to ask him questions because I kept it light. I kept it cheerful, whatever, positive. But he told me to put my phone away, man. I was like, fuck. Like, this is the reason why I'm trying to interview your ass, Sergey. Damn. I was trying to tell you Canelo was coming up a division. And you might want to train a little harder. Shit. Don't tell me, "Hey, put the phone away." You know what? I was on the elevator probably like 5 or 6 times on that same fight card with Yordenis Ugas. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't know who the dude was. Seriously. Like, this dude, every time I seen Yordenis Ugas, dude was dressed out. Like, I say, is it a party I'm missing? Like, is it the goddamn Playboy suite? Like, where the women at? Like, where's every time I seen Yordenis Ugas, man, that dude was decked out, right? Didn't know it was him. I wasn't even trying to know who he was because I was focusing on the main fight card. But yeah, man, dude would walk around, and then I happened to see him on TV. And I said, "Damn, that's the same dude." And then that's when I found out it was Yordenis Ugas. Josh said, "If you do an interview online, would you write down a list of questions?" Josh, to be honest with you, bro, I don't write down stuff. I don't write down stuff. I just remediate it. I don't look at shit. When I'm on here, I'm not looking at nothing. Now, you'll know if I'm looking at it. So I'll say, "Let me look over here." And then I will focus and I will actually go look up some searching. But I don't write anything down. Like, if you really know the sport, the only thing you may want to write down is something like, if you're doing an interview online, right? You might want to write down, if you're not familiar with their opponents, they past opponents. Like, just say, for instance, if you was trying to talk about the fight between Khabib and Edson Barboza, and you was going to specifically talk about that because that's his most recent fight, Now you might want to write down some certain parts of the fight because it was a 5-round fight. You might want to write down certain aspects of the fights that stood out. You say, at this point in the fight, when this happened, then you might want to use as bullet points. Besides that, I don't write down anything. I just remediate. I go do my research, look on here, do this search, do that, blah, blah, blah. And then just talk. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I can tell you, bro. I'm keeping it 100. Like, study. And then it should come like a natural conversation. Real talk. Good question, man. Oh, damn. I ain't see you over there, man. Hey, I'm about to invite Lion Killer on here. What up, man?
Nothing. What's going on, man?
Man, I see your hookup, man. I see you got the place looking like you about to invite Layla Lee over, and she's gonna give you the whole rundown on her comeback. Shit looking nice, man.
Appreciate it. I still got a little bit to go. I'm probably still halfway there. So,
hey, those you tuning in, man. This is Lion Killer, man. Previous, World Breaker Fight, man. Very knowledgeable cat on general topics. Period. You know what I'm saying? So y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Lion Killer. And check him out, man. He talk about a whole lot of stuff, combat sports, everyday life topics. You know what I'm saying? So salute to you, man. What's good?
Even bad tacos.
Yeah, man.
Just good, man. I'm just, chilling. First time I got in the way to play in my little domicile, so dealing with, with everything on the coronavirus and everything, you're dealing with your family and people at home, so you don't get to get into what you like till later in the day.
Yeah, for sure, man. I was telling them that the governor just released down here that the school year's done.
Bro, y'all governor is a trip.
Yeah.
I saw that. I saw that dude before. Yeah, we didn't know about it till 24 hours ago that you couldn't talk and breathe. And like, bro, what in the hell is wrong with you?
They didn't say that virus was airborne. What are you talking about?
Hell, I just found out 24 hours ago. It ain't nothing but a goddamn thing. We gonna help. Shit. Everybody breathing on each other, and all the colored folks is hiding somewhere. I'm just saying, man. I'm like, I saw that on CNN. I'm like, wow.
Man, man, I was cracking up, man. I saw that. I was like, damn, he might have a full-time schedule, man. I got to give him an excuse. I don't know, man.
Bruh, they've been saying that for like a month, at the very least a month.
I know, but that doesn't mean his people around him, his team is looking out for his best interest, man. They may not be informed, man.
He's a Republican governor or a Democratic governor?
Man, to be honest, I don't know, man. Like, I haven't really been focusing on him, man.
Yeah, I just saw the clip and I was like, wow. He looked like ass there. That's just bad. You look ill prepared. So what we're talking about, the UFC. What I heard you talking about warm-ups for mixed martial arts. Haven't gone through that. And I boxed as an amateur. I was an amateur boxer. I'm telling you right now, mixed martial arts warm-ups are the toughest warm-ups in sports, period. It's not even close. That's the only time I've ever thrown up in any type of practice is a mixed martial arts warm-up. Made me throw up twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in very good shape when I threw up. So
yeah, I think I was talking about practices.
Yeah.
Like, man, mixed martial arts practice is vicious, man.
It
like,
is.
I don't know why people take it for as light, man. Like, they warm up and everything is just whole nother, like, you got wrestling combined, jogging, man. It's just, you got a shrimp. I mean, it's just so much combined with mixed martial arts, man.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like when you're doing rolls for jiu-jitsu, That's what made me throw up.
Yeah.
Having to do rolls.
Yeah, rolls is not easy. Yeah.
Yeah, so you sit up there doing rolls, and it's like 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
But about 10 minutes in, you done threw up in a trash can 2 or 3 times.
Oh yeah, man.
I mean, that is true shape. If you get in that type of shape, that is true physical endurance right there. You know,
and I was telling them how some of these fighters start off in a dangerous position. Like they put you on your back and you're in a submission, you got to work out that submission. Man, that shit is crazy, man.
You're already in a choke, a rear naked, or a collar choke. And you can't do that. And if you don't know how, you can't do nothing about it. But learn the hard way.
Yeah. And
that's what, at least on the jiu-jitsu end, is really about learning the hard way. Technique is everything, and especially in BJJ is everything. You don't have to be the biggest or the most athletic. You just have to have the best technique in most cases.
I ain't never lied on that. Technique is everything. Yep. Technique is everything in jiu-jitsu. That's the only, in my opinion, like jiu-jitsu is one of the only forms, in my opinion, in mixed martial arts that you can't pretend, period. Like you can come in with a gi and pretend all you want, but when you step in there with an actual partner, like just say for Muay Thai, you might have some pretty decent kicks. You know, Taekwondo, you might be able to be a good kicker, but you might suck at the actual competition aspect of it. And say wrestling, you might be a strong motherfucker. You might be able to wrestle, have good takedown defense, but you really can't wrestle. You know what I'm saying? But jiu-jitsu, you can't just say, okay, let me walk in with a white belt and fuck around with people. You can't do it.
I've seen that happen once or twice. A white belt come in there and start racking. And, you know, obviously somebody really wasn't a white belt. They were a little more advanced than a white belt.
Yeah, I've seen those, yeah.
But occasionally a white belt, you know, a blue belt can come in there and give people the business.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And it's always about the technique. You know, jiu-jitsu is seriously a game of inches. And your inches is technique. You know?
Oh yeah.
Now you press on somebody's chest the right way, get that arm bar. You know, you press on it the wrong way, get your ass choked out.
Yeah,
and it's just.
And you know what? The only way to improve your cardio in jiu-jitsu, man, is the roll mat time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can't go out here and say, I'm running 5 miles, man. I'm good. You know, that's going to be my jiu-jitsu cardio. No, that ain't the way it works, man.
Mm-hmm. Just rolling on that floor, getting choked on, you know. So how do you feel about that UFC 249 card? It's starting to look like it's about to implode.
I mean, it's already got fragments already out there. Like, I mean, you got a location yet? Khabib says send a location. Khabib is in Russia. He's like, shit, you know, I can still fight, but there's no location, bro. Like, what do you? Come on, Dana, send a location so we can get this popping.
Shoot, Dana, man, he trying to keep this thing alive. Corona got him in his pockets, man.
But where he gonna fight at though, man? Like, if everything's blackout right now and no fans are allowed, obviously, you can't fight in Vegas.
You know what they can do? They can do that shit like Enter the Dragon, go fight on that island. You know,
what island?
I'm just saying, find a remote place.
You better not be on any bats on that motherfucker.
I ain't talking about no bats. You know, Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee. You know, they had the little castle. Yeah. You know, they fighting in it. You know,
bats are always in the castle, dog.
Yeah, they lying. That's what I'm saying. Hey, they got the bread. They can make it work.
Well, they better exterminate that motherfucker first. Yeah. They better send Orkin. They better have somebody go up in there first and make sure all those bats out of there. Because we know that's one of the carriers of the freaking corona.
Yeah. I mean, corona has capsized the world. So, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, even like, you know, you talking about my setup, that's the only reason I ain't even showing the setup. I ain't finished because part of finishing up the new setup is having people, you know, in the setup. Mm-hmm. Nobody can come over. Nobody can interview. So, you know, I'm delayed. I'm not showing the setup till I got an interview in place. I got people, you know, on the spot, you know, ready to do some stuff. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So everybody's on hold from even thinking about it. If you don't have a bank account, you screwed. If you want your stimulus check, you're gonna wait 20 weeks if you don't have a bank account.
Oh,
that was
for
time. Yeah, read about that.
Well, you got your stimulus check already. You ain't telling nobody. What?
I read about this today in the news. They're saying they were telling Democrats that, according to the parameters of the stimulus deal, all of the checks are direct deposit. So it's tied to your IRS tax return. So if you didn't have a tax return tied to a bank account for direct deposit, you guys could wait 20 weeks before you get a check.
God damn, that's 5 months in a slot, dog.
Like the coronavirus is gonna be over with, most likely.
Yeah. People gonna be, hey, the ban lifted. We can have 100 people gathering.
You ain't lying. Man, I could have used it $1,200 4 months ago. Goddamn it!
For real.
Shit, I'm sitting out here living in the sewer. Goddamn.
I wonder if they're gonna stick to their word, man, and send those out on time.
I doubt it, man. Listen, the entire Trump administration is about bluster. As far as logistics and actionable things, they're not there. I mean, this whole epidemic could have been prevented if the intelligence was taken seriously. So
talk about intelligence, dog. Damn.
Huh? Yeah.
Keep going, man. I'll be right back.
Yeah, he completely hates the intelligence community because they warned this cat in January. In January, they warned the guy, hey, this is serious. We probably need to take some precautions. And he's at political rallies talking about some hoax. And now we're all stuck. All our sports are on hold. Everything that's fun is not so fun. People are dying. People are sick. And it's just really sad. You know, it's truly an epic fuck up. And it's all because people don't listen to the right individuals and they're too politicized. So I see it as a situation where this hopefully this takes a better direction, because although me and Scotty love talking about mixed martial arts, boxing, and other things, we love watching it more. We enjoy talking about action. We hate talking about what people are going to do or what they should do. So it's this is a big clusterfuck for the game. In every facet of the nation. So that's how I see it, man.
Yeah, we're gonna see if there's any consistency with what they was hyping up last week about sending out these stimulus checks, because a lot of people need them, man. And then with the fight card, it's all about the location, bro. Like, it's just so much dependent on the main event, Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. Now that Khabib is in Russia, it's back and forth with him saying, just send me a location. You send me a location, possibly we may still be able to make the fight. You know what I'm saying? But Dana White haven't let out where the location is. From my understanding, he hasn't did it because he don't want people going to that location. You know what I'm saying? Because the people can't get in, and he's trying to keep it as discreet as possible, I guess. But that's the problem, man. We want to see Khabib versus Ferg. That's what we want to see.
Man, ultimately, this is just an unprecedented situation. Nobody knows what to do. I mean, I'm in Texas. They about to shut down the liquor stores tomorrow, bro.
Oh, for real? Damn.
Yeah. The governor put a kill shot on liquor stores.
I mean, what does that have to do with COVID-19, though, dog?
I don't know.
Why shut down the liquor stores, man?
I don't know. There's a lot of guns in this state, and I'd rather have people liquored up and relaxed than sober and popping.
You never lied. You ain't never lied.
Because this joker here is for real. So, yeah, I luckily I got enough liquor at the house. I should be good for a minute. But man, people don't know what to do because the leadership doesn't know what to do. And you are a reflection of your leadership in most cases. So I got a cousin in New York, stuck there, can't do anything but just watch people die, man. They're loading people on semis.
On semis, yeah. I saw that.
Just sliding the bodies down the trailer. And I mean, I
think seeing it on real, don't it? Like that don't
bro,
even seem real. Like that's NYC. You loading bodies on trailers?
Yeah.
What are they doing? Loading these cats in a mass grave? I mean, what are these bodies going, man?
They got to be cremating people, man. When you have a pandemic, epidemic, you either bury them deep in mass graves, or you go to a crematorium. You have to burn away the infection. If it's like that, the Spanish flu that hit in 1918 through 1920, that killed 100 million people. So we're not at we're not at that level yet. I mean, believe it or not, it's real. I mean, I
know it's real, man. But when you initially see people with videos with the bodies laying, when the first video was the guy across the street and he was recording them putting bodies in the trailer and shit like that. And then they just had a recent video of bodies lined up in a hallway or something in black bags, body bags.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad. I saw a video where they had opened up a trailer of a semi, and this had to be about a 55-foot or 60-foot trailer, and you can see bodies stacked up at the very end of the trailer. It was bright enough to see that, but they literally had a line of dead bodies on hospital beds, ready to. Yeah, this is in New York, ready to slide them in.
Why do you think New York is getting hit by? Because that trail system, that rail system?
It's the population density, bro. I mean, New York is fairly small in area with the 12 million metro population. So people are stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, you're in close proximity to people, you're going to catch it. You can't get 6 feet away from a motherfucker in New York. I've never seen it.
Even in the rain, you can't. Shit.
No. So that's why, they got by far the most cases. That's why they have the most deaths. New Jersey is spiking. Louisiana, they spiking. And I know why they're spiking, because dumbasses went and celebrated Mardi Gras. And, Wynton Marsala's father died yesterday from it. Yeah. So it's crazy, but a lot of people weren't paying heed. And y'all need to get in the house. And when they were talking about people not wearing masks, I remember I tried to order a mask a month ago, and I'm waiting for my mask, and Amazon canceled the fucking order and refunded my money. And I'm like, because I saw it coming, I'm like, dog, you don't need a mask. And so what I did today, when I heard, hey, yeah, breathing and talking can get you infected. Okay, so I ordered. I found some cloth masks, and I got 2 sets of those. It came in 2, so 4 masks, and I got 2. What are those? Motocross. I got motocross mask and goggles.
Okay,
so I got 2 sets of those, and so I don't give a fuck if I go to the store or not, looking like Freaky Jason in his hole. I'm going to be protected. I'm not taking off the goggles. I'm not taking off the mask. And that's just really what it is. I don't care how I look.
Going in there looking like James Bubba Stewart.
Yeah, going in there bitch looking like Batman at night, goddammit, because I'm not catching it. I got too many people that depend on me, man.
Don Dollar said FEMA asked the military for 100,000 body bags.
Yep. Man. Bro, it's
shit.
A lot of us don't realize, because there's just a lot of stupid ass people out there. They don't realize.
A lot of them in U.S., if you're talking about taking this serious, a lot of them in U.S., they just want to say, hey, we just want to go outside for fresh air. Like they had a lot of hikers down here had to be told to disengage, leave the area. And they're saying, oh, we've been cooped up in the house. We just want some fresh air. Okay.
Well, you know the crazy thing, man. Duarte in the Philippines. If you're caught outside, his orders to shoot on sight, shoot to kill. I mean, he ain't bullshit.
Could you imagine over here, man, where you at, where I'm at? You saw in India where they was just caning motherfuckers, they was just swinging.
Yeah, that's when people start beating shit out of cops. You ain't gonna swing on
yeah, exactly.
I mean, we seen cop assaults, but damn it, not with no bamboo stick, man. I remember my great grandmother used to whoop my ass with a bamboo fishing pole. It sucked. Bamboo don't give.
Yeah, man, bamboo it's a problem.
Yeah.
It was just the fact that they was beating that woman with her baby, man. She was walking with her kid.
That's pathetic, man.
And they was beating her with one of them sticks, man.
I got a few Indian friends, man. Indian cats over here, pretty cool, man. But the Indians in India ain't got no goddamn sense whatsoever, man. That's the wild east over there, man. I mean, you gotta be careful with your women. You gotta be careful with everything over there.
And also, I think Korea had that going on too, man. Korea had a lot of they catching people outside or something like that. I might be wrong, man.
But I heard those Korean cops and MPs, they don't play.
Oh, they don't.
They give you the business.
I know that firsthand.
Yeah, I heard they give you the business. So
hey, the Japanese police too, man.
Yeah, I heard about them too.
Throw you on your head.
Yeah, my uncle was stationed in Okinawa for 20 years, and he was telling me about the Japanese police, man. He said they'll give you that work real quick.
Yeah, they don't play over in foreign countries, especially with
Asian countries, especially.
Yeah, especially with military service members and all that. They don't play with that shit, man.
Singapore comes to mind more than anything when it came to white kid. I think I was still in high school when that happened. I think I was maybe a junior, senior in high school when they came that white kid. And
yeah, they didn't show that though, did they? They just said it was going down, right?
Yeah, they didn't show it. Usually they would have. They probably would have televised it. Singapore, you can't even spit on the ground in that hole.
Well, that fool wanted to deface goddamn sign or whatever. Yeah, he deserved to get his ass whooped.
Yeah, they kicked that ass. They kicked that ass like a pinata on a birthday, boy. So it's crazy, man. Some of these cats go overseas and just have no respect for people's countries. The utter arrogance is amazing. But they'll put your ass in the sling real quick.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, a lot of the culture that we able to experience, that's why a lot of Americans get married over there. You know, they sit up there and just say, you know what, I'll never get this in the States. So they marry them, but somehow if they come back to the States, most of the time families don't understand that you taking her away from her family. So therefore, she asked you to go back over there. You ain't gonna have to go back over there for another 3 or 4 years. You know, the shit don't work out.
You know, Dundada says the captain was fired from the Roosevelt carrier for wanting to reduce 90% of his staff. That's crazy. He's doing the captain of the aircraft carrier Roosevelt.
You talking about the one that just got relieved, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, everybody on the damn boat, you know, is sick. He's doing the right thing, but the problem is he's dealing with an administration where the guy at the top is a blithering idiot. Yeah, and he's never served. He's never done anything successful except being born lucky. You know, I mean, the most fantastic thing the guy's ever done is just go bankrupt multiple times. And when a guy doesn't understand logistics, order, simple commands, not willing to listen to intelligence, it says a lot about a guy. And our services and our government suffer for that. You know, our government looks bad right now. We do,
man. We supposed to be the stronghold, man. We supposed to be the strongest nation, man. And I did, you know, I just did a video on the virus and military bases, and it was what, 2 days before it actually happened. But you know, You can't tell people why you said it, but I gave a live pretty much to say we don't stop training. Like Paris Island, we don't stop training because of the COVID. We don't stop. And what happened? NAS shut down because they freaking they have an outbreak on Paris Island training recruits.
Wow.
And now they shut down, man.
Yep. And it's all because you ignored legitimate intelligence in January.
But we ain't gonna, they ain't gonna shut down. That's what I was trying to say. We're not gonna stop. If something's going on, even if it's a force field or anything, they're not gonna stop.
No,
until they forced to stop. And now they're forced to stop.
Yeah, it's pitiful, man. I'm just looking at this situation, the daily brief. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, you're just getting up here to show your face. There's nothing critical going on here other than death, just straight death. Oh, there's more cases. I think almost 1,000 people died yesterday. I don't know what the number is today.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. It's went from like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800. It was 917 yesterday when I looked yesterday. I don't know what it is today. And so you've already doubled the casualties of 9/11 in basically within a month's time. And it's all because this all happened because you ignored solid intelligence. Well,
that's what we get for being reactive, thinking we can just bypass shit.
No.
We don't have a source to this though. Like at least with 9/11, it was contained to a source. We knew where the source was coming from that caused the casualties.
Bro, we had a source. They ignored it. It should have been a travel ban immediately. It should have been.
The planes was already in the air though, man.
Well, there's stuff that's going to get by in any situation. I remember when Ebola broke out a few years ago. Was that 2 or 3 years ago? And they were able to contain that quickly. The CDC was scared as shit because I don't know if you know, but Ebola liquefies organs. You get Ebola, that's shit. You basically a juice bag.
Didn't we just have a virus that came over here? A couple of people. Was it the Zika or it wasn't Ebola?
The Zika virus, I think, was right after Ebola. Yeah, it suck if you got Zika and you were pregnant because your kid's gonna be born deformed. And, they're born with extremely small heads, and I mean it just totally just turns the child into something else. The fetus. But that pretty much stayed down in Brazil. There were some cases in America from my recollection.
Yeah,
but they were contained. But again, that was under another administration. None of the shit that's come out has been in this administration because they can't handle it. People need to put their fucking politics aside and look at people for what they are. This guy is a stumble doofus motherfucker. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and that's just the truth. Stumble
doofus.
Yeah, stumble doofus. I mean, everything this guy does is just bluster, and there's no action behind it. There's no real accountability. The Republican Party, when I was growing up, you remember this cat named Larry Elder, Scotty?
No.
Larry Elder is this black Republican guy out of L.A., I think it was. He used to have a show where he was a judge. And he and Republicans always used to talk about taking personal responsibility, accountability, stuff like that. Well, and they usually talking to minorities when they say that.
Yeah.
But you have a president that takes none of that. He doesn't hold himself accountable for actions. He doesn't take responsibility. And when a guy is in denial about responsibility in that type of position of power, you have these calamities take place. Mm. And I mean, that's what we're going through right now. Calamities, it sucks, man. I fear for people, man.
I know Don Dollar put on here 10 million. I didn't even speak on unemployment today. It's just too much to bear, man. Like 10 million unemployment benefits. Do you believe that even remotely 50% would be approved for unemployment, man. Like shit.
Well, they expanded unemployment benefits, so most likely more than 50% get the rap. Listen, man, this dude literally made it go from sugar to shit in 3.5 years.
It wasn't he the one talking about I'm doing what other presidents has never did, and he was worrying about the border. Let's shut down the border. Let's spend money on the border. Guess what, man? I don't want to call it karma, but nobody's talking about no goddamn wall. We're talking about life or death here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, right now at the Costco up the street from me, gas is $1.25 a gallon.
Wow. Well, that's regular or unleaded?
That's regular.
Premium.
That's regular. So man, I think when I went and got gas the other day, premium was like $1.75, $1.85. Back when we were in school type shit, you know. And then what's crazy, I talked to a homie that's in the oil industry. He said it's gonna be 99 cents next week. In Texas.
You know, I wish I could take advantage of them, but both of my vehicles full, just sitting out in the garage.
Exactly. Ain't got nowhere to go. Can't go.
Brought up a lawnmower, dog. Ride that motherfucker down the street.
Hell yeah. Like, shit, let me go ahead and do this. I mean, by the time everything's up and going, that gas is going straight back up. Now, I see Dundada says oil went up today. Yeah, oil went up today, but you won't see that for 3 to 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. You know, and then it'll probably go back down because I mean, essentially yesterday we were talking about it. We were talking about a depression. When I was talking to my boy about it, we were talking about a depression.
This is only the second day, bro, in April, man. They talking about this is going to be the worst month of all. Mm-hmm. And we only in the second day of the month, man.
Yeah. And it's really, again, this is what happens, and I can't emphasize it more. This is what happens when you have incompetence in positions of leadership, and people suffer, people die, people lose, and it's pathetic, you know. When you own the shop, you're responsible for everything in the shop. And that's the way it is. You can't shy away from that bitch at all.
You ain't never lied, man. This is just it's gonna change lives forever, man. And I think it's gonna change combat sports forever too, in a way.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because it's you're looking at if 10 million unemployed benefits, somehow, some way, it's going to be some people that attended fights, and they're not going to be able to quickly attend fights once it resumes because they may not have the money to do so.
Think about this guy. The last time that probably, if I'm correct, the last time this many people were unemployed, there was no such thing as unemployment benefits. There was no such thing as welfare. There was no such thing as any of this shit because they were going through the Great Depression, and the New Deal was what enacted these social reforms, that this type of socialism that we're actually enjoying right now. You know, the fact that you can apply for unemployment benefits was unheard of in the 30s. Yeah. No, your ass was in a dust bowl or something. You was trying to get out of there. You know, you eat chicken feet and shit and whatever else came by.
Yeah,
you know that. It's scary, man. It's a scary thought.
It is, man. It's extremely. It's not understanding like what can we put a thumb on? You know what I'm saying? How can we thumb anything? Like we can't even grab a calendar and say, well, let me mark this date off. This is when it's going to be done. This is when it's going to be over. We don't know, you know, more casualties every time you turn on the TV, somebody dying, more bodies stacked on one another. And we're not used to that over here in the States because if you hear of a loved one dying, you're like, oh, can I go see him? No, you can't go see him.
Man, my great uncle died last week and pretty much 10 people at the funeral. That's it. You can't, not allowing anymore.
So how are people in NYC gonna be able to attend anything if these people are cremated?
They can't. They gotta just shit. They gotta kiss the sky. Call it a day. Real talk.
Hmm.
You know, it's that serious. New York is shut down. Pretty much 90% of the country shut down.
Yeah.
But it's really the resistance of a lot of these closed-minded politicians that have really spread this disease. Louisiana has a Democratic mayor, and they allow Mardi Gras. You know, and now 300. I think they got 300 deaths or something like that. I can't remember. They're like 350 deaths and shit in Louisiana.
Wow.
You know, and I think there might be more because I think 200. No, it was 33 or 34 today or some shit like that. I got to look at the. You know, they got a coronavirus stat website and shit, or something like that. Let me look. But Louisiana.
I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Also said, can civilians pull up with a 42-gallon barrel at the gas station and pump 92 cents a gallon? I don't know. You know, I don't know because I tried it, and I don't know if they have a cap on that, man. You know, for people trying to pull up and just get a bulk load of gas, man.
So right now, worldwide, almost 1 million cases of it, 950,000 cases.
Mm.
You know, I'm trying to get it for the U.S., man. This is crazy.
It's beyond. It's berserk. It's mayhem, man. It's chaos, bro. It's like, bro. It's exactly like, you know, I Am Legend, man. I mentioned that shit for a reason. This is what it's like, man. Like,
check this out, Scotty. Today, 1,165 deaths. Yesterday was 917.
Jesus Christ.
So 5,922 deaths in the States, 243,000 cases. That's as of 8:25 p.m. Eastern.
Damn.
So
1,100 and some deaths. Wow.
Yeah. New York has 92,000 confirmed cases, 92,005, 2,300 deaths. New Jersey has 25,000 cases, 537 deaths. California, the most populous state, only has 10,000 cases, 238 deaths.
Because it isn't really thriving in heat, right?
Well, they acted early. They acted they put their orders in very early to prevent and curb it. Texas, my state only has 5,000 cases, 77 deaths. You know, we can't really call it the governor didn't do it. Well, the governor didn't do shit. He was late. It was really the judges, the county judges that did the shit right. You know, They jumped on it. Yeah, every county judge in Dallas-Fort Worth up here jumped on it and made the shit happen quick. So the deaths are minimized in a lot of regards. Dallas County has the most, but the least, the one with the least amount, the Virgin Islands, no 30 cases, no deaths.
Shit, I'm packing up. I'm going. I'll be out there tomorrow.
Guam, I guess you're gonna have a paddle boat because you ain't flying out there. Guam, 82 cases, 3 deaths. Alaska, 143 cases, 3 deaths. Wyoming, no deaths, 150 cases. North Dakota, 159. I mean, West Virginia, if it hits West Virginia, it's going to be catastrophic. If it hits West Virginia heavy.
You know, they still got them, my boy up in West Virginia, they still got them going to work, man.
Oh, yeah. Man, that shit's going to spike if they doing that. He does essential. He has an essential job.
He said, you know, like certain people around him saying, oh, I was around so-and-so that had coronavirus and they let them go. He said, but, you know, certain people that's not really stepping up to, you know, the basically say, okay, can I work from home? You know, because this is dangerous. And they say, no, you know, we still need. To answer your question, I don't think he's essential personnel, but he is primary. You know, he does have a primary role there, you know.
Bro, your state has more cases than my state and has 163 deaths. It has, Your state has 5,348 deaths to cases to 163 deaths. Texas has 5,069 to 77. Your state's right above mine. This is the same guy saying, we didn't know you get it with proximity. I mean, and honestly, for that type of answer, that's a surprising number. I mean, man,
they just had a hospice care breakout down here.
Right.
So I'm wondering if they had that contained yet, man.
But that's where they start. That's what happened in Washington. When the coronavirus really hit here, it was in Washington State at a nursing home. And so they got it curbed now, but the initial, it was spreading like wildfire. So man, leadership. It still all boils down to leadership. I have to be redundant about it.
Man, when I get my shit, bro, I know it's a little. When I get my shit from the grocery store, I don't care what package it in. I goddamn rinse all that shit out.
Yeah, when I go to the store next week, because I'm not going till I get my mask. I was going to go today, and then I saw that graphic, and I'm like, no, I'm going to go order this shit now. Nobody's going anywhere. My oldest child is outside the house. He's here, and he's not far away, but he can't come over here until he quarantines himself. It sucks. It just really sucks.
Grocers say all the essential shipping port cities with trucking routes will hit the worst.
Yep.
It's gonna be tough, man. But so far they trying to keep the supplies and the shelves stocked because people still out here infatuated with toilet paper and Lysol. You can't go anywhere and find some Lysol, man.
No, you can't. I went to Costco last week, tried to get some baby wipes and some Clorox wipes. Those are the first damn things that were gone. Said we got toilet paper, but we don't got this other shit.
I wonder if they restocking Lysol or just they ain't doing shit, man.
No, they're restocking it, but people come in and grab. Early bird catches the worm. That's the situation. When I went to Costco last week, man, you had to wait in a line 6 feet at a time. Then what they're doing around here is they're letting people over 55, senior citizens, go in to the store for an hour first. They open up an hour earlier, and that's all senior citizens. They won't let anybody in except them first, and then they open up at their regular hours. All types of stores are doing that around here. Everybody's closing at 6 o'clock now. Home Depot, I saw, closing at 6 o'clock. Walmart closed at 6 o'clock. Costco. All these places. I can't even hear you, man.
Okay. What about now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
This might perk you up and while you set up your studio and all that.
What's that?
You might want to have 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine as your first guest over there. He's out. They let him out do the coronavirus.
And I don't think he's gonna be living that long, to be honest with you.
I'm just saying he could be your first one to be like, hey, come in and talk to me, man. Tell you how was it in prison, first of all? You know what I'm saying? How was it?
Well, my butt sure is sore, and shoot. That kid, like he got the squabs of a squirrel, man. He don't have no abilities, Pele Grotto says, no joke, why the hell are people buying up toilet paper? Toilet paper kills COVID. Yeah, I don't get the toilet paper thing either, man. Nobody can explain it. And I hadn't seen anybody, people just buying toilet paper.
I'm not using any more toilet paper than I did before. Like, what is up with this toilet paper shit?
I got a duvet, man, in one of my bathrooms. Shit. I just squirt that ass and move on.
Man, motherfuckers just buying toilet paper. I'm not sure what's the remedy. What is the experiment?
I don't get it. It don't cause diarrhea, so I don't know why people buying toilet paper. If it was the Spanish flu, you would need toilet paper.
Oh yeah.
You know, if it was dysentery or cholera, you would need toilet paper. But
Oh yeah.
people really don't get it, man. Like I'm thinking about all the pandemics that I can think of in the last century. Cholera was dropping motherfuckers like flies. You know, of course, the Spanish flu, smallpox. You know, polio. Polio used to be airborne. Goddamn,
wasn't it?
huh?
Polio was vicious, man.
Hey, polio got a president. Franklin Delano Roosevelt had polio. That's why he's in a wheelchair. I mean,
polio. Can you imagine this having similar effects of polio? Stricken someone's. I mean, oh man.
Bubonic plague in the Middle Ages. I know there was a break. I remember, I think I was a teenager. There was a small breakout bubonic plague running around. It wasn't many cases, but you know, because we have the technology. I was talking to a doctor friend of mine, and I was telling him the healthcare system. This shows how weak the healthcare system is in the United States. It's not the technology; it's the greed that's killed us. You know, we don't have enough anything for anybody. You know, we don't have the infrastructure in place to produce immediately. You know, this is all because of greed and capitalism. I mean, I like our country. I like the model that we're on, but damn, you got to have some sense too. You know, you got to prepare.
Do you think this is gonna anyway? The way it look, we may still be in chaos, man, by the time the election happened. But do you believe that's gonna, any way, shape, or form, man, keep the momentum on Trump being reelected to kind of finish this out, or they may potentially reelect a new president?
I look at it this way: politics are on hold right now.
Exactly. I know, man. That shit's. The election is at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, November. So, you know, at the end of the day, if you want to play politics, Biden is going to have to come harder. Now it's really attack time. He's been soft about it.
Girls.
Huh?
Have to keep his hand off them little girls.
Yeah. But if Biden wants to win, he's going to have to attack this man's management style. He's going to have to attack the fact that this guy doesn't listen to intelligence. And he's essentially responsible for this epidemic or this pandemic in the country. Now, of course, no man could stop this from happening, but you can manage it. And you got a dog?
Yeah, she been looking for me. Come on.
What kind of dog is it?
Say hi to the camera. Say hi to the camera. Look. Black lab.
Those good dogs, man.
Don't lick me in the mouth. You know you go outside. I ain't gonna tell you again, girl. You know. All right. Stop being stuck up. Stop being stuck up, girl. COVID-19. COVID-19.
I can't wait to get my dog, man. I can't wait, man.
Yeah, I got her a service dog school, man. She ain't never been in a pack. Her daddy's black and her mama's golden.
Wow.
Right, girl? You remember seeing? You don't even know who your parents are, huh? Do you?
Donna says we had to drag Biden to the White House. Yeah, I'm disappointed in the fact that the guy is the presumptive nominee, essentially. I wouldn't. At some point, I think there should be an age cutoff for presidents, man. I think 70 is enough, man. 70. Yeah, 70.
70 ain't gonna be enough if we don't have a damn huge selection.
Yeah.
We need a more selection of people. It seems like everybody want to damn just say no. Who else? No.
I mean, the Democratic Party during the primaries. I mean, you had 85 people running for president.
Man, we need one more chance, Hillary. Man, she need to come do it. Let's go.
Man, forget that. I don't know.
So
You'll take Trump instead of Hillary, man.
No, man. You know, real talk. The only time I didn't vote in an election was that one because I didn't want to vote for either one of those people. I regret it, huh?
Michelle Obama. You think she would get some traction?
Yeah, man. She's a PhD in law. So I mean, she's highly educated. Probably the most educated first lady. She doesn't have political administration experience. But she's smart enough, obviously, to put the right team around her. Hell, you got a president for a husband. So there you go.
That's the rumor mill. That's the rumor mill, man.
It's not like it hasn't happened before, at least on the state level. I know in the state of Texas, you have Paul Ferguson. Yeah, Paul Ferguson had like 4 or 5 terms in a row. And then when they put term limits for the governor in the state, he made his wife run and she got elected. And he is running the state through her. So, yeah, it ain't the first time. Definitely. So, man, that's crazy, man.
We need for somebody to step out, whether it's going to be Joe Biden. We need them to come hard because what Trump can do is say some dumb shit in debate.
Yeah. You know, and
I'm about to take her out.
All right, cool, man.
She up here getting all funky.
Well, that means somebody about to shit on the floor.
Yeah, she up here. When she was in my lap, I was seeing I hear her passing gas. I say, "Yeah, you gotta go outside." Supposed to be a lady. You up here passing gas in the house. But yeah, man, I've been on here like 3 hours.
Sure. I see that. Damn near 4 hours.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it again. You came on here late. I know you was getting the palace hooked up and everything, man.
Yeah,
Calagroso, Dundada, Josh, all you that dropped through, man. Lion Killer, Hodges, Josh, Denise. Appreciate everyone who stopped in, man.
All you gotta do is text me the link, and that way I'll know and I'll come on.
Yeah, man. I gotta get caught up. I'm going through my light system right now. I'm in a different spot, but I'm going through my light system and trying to find out a different area on how to do.
Well, bro, that new light I got, the one I sent you the picture of, you can be anywhere. That hoe is that bright.
Oh, is that right?
And it's like 100 channel light, so it has 100 levels to it.
I thought you say the ones with the umbrella doesn't change.
No, those don't change, but the one I bought, the one I just got in, that's the ring, that whole changes.
Oh, okay.
It's adjustable. So
you say the ring change.
Yeah, it adjusts in brightness, illumination. So
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right, cool. Just hit me, man.
Salute, man. Hey, thanks, Lion Killer, for dropping through, man. Always, bro. Be safe over there, you and your fam.
All right, man. You take care.
I definitely got to get my stilo up with this damn media, this room stuff, man. But yeah, we'll talk, big man. We out.
All right, bro.
Everybody, turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports.